just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat or the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving them starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects. Never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he f***ing with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire. And Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a f***ing nihilist porcupine. He's a the type women wanna be with, and rappers hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best, dedicated to what they do and give 100%.
Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time, because he writes every note and he writes every line. And I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time, before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those other fellas he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Yeah. Fort Minor, M. Shinoda, styles of beyond. Ryu, Talk Beer, Machine Shop.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
If you jump into a race,
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more.
Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on. This is 10% luck.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota, both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple. Visit us online or just stop by.
Into running.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking, only from Security First Bank.
Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
If you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being abandoned.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today. There's nothing.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking. Only from Security First Bank.
On your mark. Get set.
At Farm, when we
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
What a gorgeous night it is for baseball here in Rapid City, South Dakota. Your Post 22 Hardhats are back to work on the diamond, on home field, and get ready for a long weekend of baseball. 4 games in 4 nights against 4 different opponents, and it starts tonight here on Thursday in Rapid City against Watertown. We thank you so much for joining us inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium for the first of the 4 games to be played this weekend here at the Fitz. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth in a few moments to be joined by my broadcast partner in crime, former American Legion third baseman Teddy Leipold. Well, the Hardhats come off of a 14-8 victory against their cross-parking lot rivals, the Post 320 Stars. As you'll hear from Coach Messer in our pregame interview in just a few moments, was not necessarily the cleanest of games from both sides. However, the Hardhats did manage to plate 14 runs on only 7 hits. Hardhats look to clean things up and start off this long week of baseball right. A lot of baseball will be played in the next 4 days. 4 different opponents. Watertown tonight, Mitchell tomorrow, Sheridan, Wyoming on Saturday, Scottsbluff, Nebraska on Sunday. So the Hardhats are going to see a lot of different looks, a lot of different players in the lineup, a different rotation. It's going to be a big weekend for this club prior to the start of the Hinzeth tournament in 2 weeks. We'll take a quick commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll have my interview with the head coach and general manager of the Post 22 Hardhats, Mitch Messer, and then my broadcast partner, Teddy Leipold, will join us in the booth. And the two of us will walk you through the moments leading up to first pitch between Watertown, Post 17, and your Post 22 Hardhats. Stick around, folks. You're listening to the official web stream of Post 22 Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Welcome back inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth here on Post22Live.com, bringing you all of the action for the first of 4 games this weekend, starting with your Post22 Hardhats taking on Watertown. At this point, as always, I'm joined by the head coach and general manager of the Hardhats, Mitch Messer, breaking down the intricacies of this first of 4 games this weekend. And as always, Coach, great to have you with us. You come off of a big 14-8 win over your cross-parking lot rival, Post 320, last Friday. What went through your mind in another edition of what's been a very exciting Rapid City rivalry?
Well, that's a tough game to break down. That was by far the worst game we played all year, and we still won. So, you have nights like that. You have nights where not a lot of things go right, and usually you lose those games, but we were fortunate enough to pick up the win. So that was a plus. That was a positive coming out of Friday. I thought Cody was good enough, and certainly Riley was good enough. We just made some mistakes, and this weekend we're hoping that our pitcher-catcher combo gets on the same page here, and we can start rolling.
Well, touching on the mistakes, your team scored 14 runs on 7 hits, and you were allowed 20 base runners from the post-320 defense. So if anything did go right, given those numbers for your team to get the win, what did?
We did have a couple big hits, and I feel that kind of took the wind out of their sails. Yeah, they gave us some bases, but that's part of the game. We didn't give them bases, and in the end, that was probably the difference.
So you look to this first 4 games this weekend. This is a long weekend of baseball, and it sets up 2 weeks prior to the team going to the Hindseth and then Omaha shortly after that. With players shuffling in and out of the lineup as they have been the last couple of weeks, how do you think the team's responded to that, and what are you looking for in the first of 4 games this weekend?
Yeah, I think the guys are handling it pretty well. And again, we talked about it. You got to over-communicate all these changes, and we're doing that. I mean, the guys know what's going on in terms of we're shuffling the lineup, we're trying to find the right mix, see who's who, and they're handling it well. I mean, you're never going to be firing on all cylinders, so to speak, when you're constantly moving your lineup around. But we're hoping that towards the end of the weekend and moving into next weekend, we're going to have a better idea of what we want to do, top to bottom.
You're moving the lineup around both in personnel and position-wise, 1 through 9, and one of the things you're still looking for, as you were telling me earlier, was that leadoff threat. You've got Cooper Bowman tonight in the leadoff spot. What makes him the man to go in the leadoff spot tonight? What are you looking for him in the 1 spot tonight?
Yeah, I think Cooper's got he's got the presence to do it. He has the ability. He's very athletic. He can do a lot of things at the plate for us. He can drag bunt for us. He can hit and run. He's great with 2 strikes. So, yeah, I think he's that type of athlete. He likes that. He likes being in that type of position, and so we're going to try him there. And we'll see. Again, he's at shortstop. That's where he's going to be this year, and for him, the next step is his offensive game, and so far he's been pretty good.
On the mound, pitching has been stellar, as it almost always is with this post-22 club. You have Colton Trubinsky starting tonight. The big stat for him is that he has 3 starts under his belt. Twice he has gone the distance to full complete game. What's Colton doing so well in the early stages of the season to see success?
Preparation. That's the stuff that you don't see right now in the indoor facility. Colton's going through a extensive routine with Coach Hers, our pitching coach, and Colton, when he steps on the mound, he's ready to go. He's been doing a good job of making sure that he's prepared, and I think he's embraced that role of a starter. Last year when we had him out of the pen, I think he had a hard time figuring out how do I get prepared to go out on the mound and compete at a high level. And so far, in the starting role, he's been good.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time as always, Coach. Best of luck out there tonight.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
That'll do it for the head coach and general manager, Mitch Messer. Folks, when we come back, Teddy Lipo joins me in the broadcast booth. The two of us will walk you through the moments leading up to first pitch for the first of 4 games this weekend between Watertown and your Post-22 Hardhats. We'll be right back in just a few moments on the official web stream of your Post-22 Hardhats on Post22Live.com.
Up in lights, he just wants to be heard. Whether it's the beat of the mic, he feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise. making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds.
When a
We're back inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium for the first of 4 games to be played this weekend against 4 different opponents, and it's your Post 22 Hardhats kicking off this long weekend of baseball with a matchup against Watertown Post 17. Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth, joined as always by former American Legion third baseman Teddy Leipold, formerly of Post 32 out in Bellefouche. Always, once again, great to have you with us, Teddy. Again, a long weekend of baseball ahead. We have our work cut out for us with 4 different opponents, 4 different lineups to learn. All the same, though, great to see all this baseball being played, especially 2 weeks before the Hinzeth.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend here for the Hardhats. It's going to be fun to see. They're going to see some good tests this weekend, and 4 different opponents in 4 days. It's going to you're not going to have as much time to prepare and study each opponent going in, so it'll be nice to see how the Hardhats respond and ultimately answer in this 4-game set this weekend.
Well, let's go ahead and quickly introduce the starting lineups as our public address announcer is currently doing so. Watertown, because they are the road team, will be batting in the top halves of the 7 innings of regulation we are about to play. Leading off is number 7, Tom Venery. Defensively, he is at the hot corner in third base. Batting second is number 10, Brennan Gabriel. He is the designated hitter for tonight's matchup for Watertown. Batting third is number 23, Alex Gower. He is playing at the shortstop position, and in the cleanup spot in the order is number 3, Ricky Hanisch. Defensively, his post is center field. Batting fifth is number 5, Micah Kaufman. He is out in left field. Batting sixth is number 31, Trey Schmidt. Defensively, he's positioned at first. Batting seventh is number 4, Ben DeVille. He is the backstopper for the starting pitcher for Watertown tonight. Batting eighth is number 28, Tyler Fairchild. He's playing at second base, and rounding out the batting order is number 11, Cole Workus. He is out in right field. Dylan Workus is on the mound for Watertown Post 17, and now we turn to the batting order that he will face. Leading off is number 22, Cooper Bowman, defensively at shortstop. Batting second is number 12, Drake Messenger. He's playing out in left field. Batting third is the heavy bat of Zach Solano, 13 on his back, center field, his defensive post. Batting cleanup is number 27, Matt Vickers. He is at first base. Batting fifth is number 23, Eric Petrie, the designated hitter. Sixth is number 30, Alex Weaver. He's out in right field. Batting seventh is number 17, Sam Haig. He's catching. Batting eighth, number 10, Riley McSherry at second base. And rounding out the order, number 14, Justin Kramer at third. National anthems being played, folks. We'll be right back with first pitch between Watertown and your Post 22 Hardhats.
Banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Well, it looks like we are just a few brief moments away from first pitch for the first of 4 games to be played this weekend. The Watertown Post-17 Arrows are the first hill for this Hardhats club to climb this long weekend of baseball. As always, Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth. Unfortunately, tonight we are not being broadcast on our normal radio home of ESPN Radio Rapid City due to Game 1 of the NBA Finals being played tonight, but we are, however, on Post22Live.com, and as always, grateful to be streamed by such a wonderful streaming service. Well, we never got to introduce the starting pitcher for this matchup for the Hardhats, and that just happens to be Colton Sherbinski. 15 and a third innings under his belt. This is the 5th time he has played this season, 4th by virtue of a start. Comes in with a 2-1 record. Both of those wins, back-to-back complete game performances from Colton Sherbinski. 15 strikeouts to 12 walks and a 1.37 ERA. He's going up against the top of the Watertown Post-17 batting order, and that is Tom Venner, the third baseman, Brennan Gabriel, the designated hitter, and Alex Gower, the shortstop. The defensive alignment that Watertown will face tonight is Colton Sherbinski on the mound starting for the Hardhats. His catcher and battery mate is Sam Haig. At first, it's the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers. At second is Riley McSherry, shortstop Cooper Bowman, and in the hot corner at third, it's Justin Kramer. Left to right in the outfield is Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Alex Weaver. Teddy, we were talking earlier with Coach Messer about what makes Colton Sherbinski so effective, and you can analyze his mechanics, you can analyze his statistics all day long, but the most important thing about him is that he goes out there to throw strikes, and he can do it better than anybody on this team.
And that's one thing that we've been looking for, and Coach Messer has touched on the last week or two, is the fact that you need to throw strikes, you don't allow those free base runners, and you make these hitters earn those trips to the base path, and that's what Colton Sherbinski will give you in tonight's game, and you hope that he's on because he'll be mowing down a lot of these hitters if he's feeling his stuff.
First pitch of the game from Sherbinski is in there for strike one, right on cue. No balls and a strike the count here to Tom Venner, the third baseman, leading off for Watertown Post-17. It's Venner, the third baseman, followed by Brennan Gabriel, the designated hitter, and then Alex Gower, the shortstop. Next pitch from Sherbinski cashes the inside part of the plate low in the zone. That's strike two. He's quickly ahead with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, jumping ahead early, and he's finding those spots. He's moving inside and outside, started on the outside corner, brought that last fastball on the inside part. So if he can continue to do that through this lineup, these hitters are going to be guessing all day.
0-2, just missed on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes, now the count. Colton Sherbinski also close to a backwards K to lead off our entries in our scorebooks here. Back to his windup he goes. Here comes the 1-2 from Sherbinski. Low and away. Venner didn't fish. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count.
Yeah, that was a really good breaking ball right there. The right-handed Sherbinski, that ball started on the outside part of the plate, broke off the plate. It's a real good put-out pitch here, but look for him to come back with that fastball here now, 2-2.
2-2, missed the zone low. And Sherbinski went from ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, to now a full count scenario for the leadoff batter this entire game. So Sherbinski looking for the punch-out. Here comes the payoff. Swung on and fouled. And Tom Venner stays alive.
And Colton Sherbinski on the season has issued 5 leadoff walks so far, so he has some trouble early on, but like we say, getting to the middle part of the season, that's something you want to tighten up. In a 3-2 count, he has to battle back in this.
Payoff pitch number 2, low, ball 4. So there is that leadoff walk Teddy was talking about. From Sherbinski to Tom Venner. So the leadoff man is on first with no outs here in a scoreless top of the first inning, and that's going to bring up Brennan Gabriel, the left-handed hitting designated hitter.
It's going to be interesting to see how Watertown responds because to the listeners at home, this is actually the second game that Watertown's playing. They played the Expos earlier, so it'll be interesting to see how much depth and how they respond here in the second game.
The bunt is dropped down. Charging in from third's Kramer. He fields it, throw to first in time. That moves Tom Venner to scoring position at second. The 5-3 sacrifice gives the Hardhats 1 out defensively, and that's going to bring up Alex Gower, the shortstop.
That was a pretty good sacrifice bunt there. Popped it up. So it was a nice pitch there by Stravinsky. I say it all the time. If they're going to give you that free out, throw strikes, let them get the bunt down, and try to make that play. So a nice job there getting that first down. Now you got to be mindful, though, with Venner there in scoring position. Here comes the first pitch to Gower. He is also a left-handed hitting batter, and that first pitch is on the outside corner for strike one. 1 out now here in the top of the first. Watertown has a man in scoring position. Ricky Hanisch, the center fielder and cleanup hitter, is on deck. Stravinsky checks the man on second, and Venner gives him a double take. 0-1 is swung on and hit in the middle. That's a base hit to center field. Solano fields it. Can't get the clean scoop. Runner goes home. Cutoff's made to Vickers. Throw home is not in time. It's a 1-out RBI single for Alex Gower. And Watertown strikes first. They have a 1-0 lead. Yeah, just picked it, put it right back up the middle, followed the bat head through the zone, did Gower. And Solano, if he could have fielded that a little more cleanly out there in center, might have had a shot to get him at the plate. A really good arm, like everyone knows, and a really good throw there by Solano. But that's only one run out the board now. Now a double play ball could end this inning, and you're looking to get this ground ball out that Stravinsky is very, very good at getting, with 52% of his outs as a result of that ground ball. Back-to-back games in which the Hardhats have allowed the first run on the board. And now here comes Ricky Hanisch, the cleanup hitter for Watertown Post 17. Hanisch has Gower on first base. 1-out RBI single put him there. Next pitch is swung on and fouled. So there is a strike on the count here for Ricky Hanisch. Micah Kaufman is on deck. Should a double play not end the inning. I believe the count is 0-2 actually. They forgot to put a strike on the scoreboard there, so no Ricky Hanisch. A big punch out at the plate or a double play to end the top half of the first. Here comes the 0-2. That's low and away. That's going to be a ball and 2 strikes now to Hanisch. And this team very, very good at turning double plays. They have 14 already on this season, so just under 1 per game. And you like the odds here. This middle infield very good with Riley McSherry and Cooper Bowman, and of course Colton Stravinsky can get that ground ball very easily with his pitches. Stravinsky checks the man on first. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Hanisch. He deals. That's swung on and fouled. That's coming to the press box, and Teddy just couldn't make the catch. That's actually twice today, Teddy. You've had a chance to get a ball that's come foul into this press box. I know. I've tried so hard to just get that reach out of the press box and get it, but they're just falling a little bit short. I'm going to get one by the end of the season, though. Just you wait. Lightning has struck twice tonight. We haven't seen one ever come up to the press box, and now twice tonight it has. Next pitch is swung on and shot foul, third base side, and the runner was going, too. You'd probably think the hit and run was on, but the count remains a ball and 2 strikes here for Ricky Hanisch. Yeah, you got to think that hit and run is on, and that's a good situation. Didn't really expect that hit and run, and you could get that strike 2-6 throwout. So got to be careful with the runners there. I didn't get a chance to see Gower and how much speed he had there at first, but it's going to be fun to see if they get a pitch out here, if they come after Hanisch at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes the count. Next pitch is swung on and hit foul. That's going into Rapid Creek. And the count yet again will remain a ball and 2 strikes. A huge battle between Stravinsky on the mound and Hanisch at the plate. And it is driving Sherby's, if you will, his pitch count up. Yeah, he's still only at 15. You know, he can still get out of this inning with only a little bit of only a few pitches under his belt. He averages just about 18 pitches per inning anyway, so he's not too far off his mark just yet. So we'll have to see. Once they eclipse that 20-pitch mark in inning, that's when you're starting to wonder how much longer he'll be able to go in the game. Well, his 16th pitch went high and outside for ball 2, and now time is called. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. I believe we have some debris, maybe even a ball. Yeah, a ball got away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Watertown has a 1-0 lead on only 1 hit. Leadoff walk put Tom Venner on the base path. He's the only person to come around and score for Watertown Post 17. Alex Gower had a 1-out RBI single. Now Hanisch is at the plate with a man on first and a 2-2 count. Stravinsky from the stretch deals a 2-2. Runner goes, throws up high for ball 3, and the runner is out by about 1.5 miles. What a heads-up play from Sam Haig behind home to hit Riley McSherry right in his glove. They catch the runner stealing. Count goes full. Now 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that was a huge throw right there by Sam Hague. It was perfect. And one thing you talk about Sam Hague, his ball might float a little there to second, but he's so fast out of his stance that he can get that ball to second just about as fast as any catcher out there.
Payoff from Sherbinski's up high for ball 4, so that's the second walk that he has issued in this game. He had a chance to end the inning on that full count pitch to Hanisch. So now Hanisch is on first with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Micah Kaufman, the left fielder.
And for Colton Sherbinski on the mound, he only has allowed 1 stolen base. He's now 1 for 3 with runners trying to steal against him. Well, I guess he'd be 2 for 3 for runners trying to steal against him. But that was a nice play to get that second out. Now you don't really have to worry about Hanisch at first, but you got to make sure that he doesn't get in motion.
And already Sherbinski checks down to first, and Hanisch is safe, trying to keep him as close to the bag as possible. Hanisch with another pretty big lead. Sherbinski gives him a look. Takes a sign from Hague, and he deals the first pitch to Micah Kaufman, and that's high and inside for ball 1. Should Kaufman safely get on the base path, Trey Schmidt, the first baseman, is on deck. Should he be the last batter Sherbinski faces, the Hardhats will go to the top of the order, back to the bottom of the first. Another check down to first, not there in time, and that would be Cooper Bowman, followed by Drake Messenger, and then Zach Solano, rounding those due up in the bottom half of this inning. Hardhats down 1-0 to Watertown. Top of the first inning, 2 outs and a man on first. Micah Kaufman is in the batter's box, and the next pitch he looks at is inside for strike 1, and the count will even at 1-1. So Colton Sherbinski now over 20 pitches in the inning. Checks the man on first. Deals this 1-1 to Kaufman. That rides high and inside. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
Kind of throwing a few more balls than you'd like to see in this first inning, but once again, it is also the first inning. Once you get into a groove out there on the mound, kind of settle down a little bit, you'll see that ball not elevate as much, and he'll be able to hit his spots a little better here once you get towards the middle innings.
2-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. And excluding foul balls, Teddy, I think that's the first swing and miss we've had all night for Sherbinski on the mound.
And that's one way to get started as well. Once you see these batters start fanning on a few of your pitches, you start to understand, you start to get a little more confidence and placing your pitches a little more. So that was a big one there for Colton.
2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is going to end the inning. So a big strikeout for Colton Sherbinski, his first of the game, ends the top half of the first inning. And at the end of a half an inning, it was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on the base path for Watertown. They have a 1-0 lead coming into the bottom half of the first. Your Hardhats come to bat with Cooper Bowman, Drake Messenger, and Zach Solano due up. We'll be right back here on the official web stream of Post 22 Baseball here on Post22Live.com in just a few moments.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota Legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
The Hardhats now transition from defense to offense, and it's Cooper Bowman, Drake Messenger, and Zach Solano hitting the sticks due up for the Hardhats here in the bottom half of the first inning. Watertown Post 17 has a 1-0 lead over the Hardhats. This is the first time that Post 22 has taken to the batter's box.
Dylan Workus, the starting pitcher for Watertown, deals a first pitch strike to Cooper Bowman. He starts off with an 0-1 count. Defensive alignment the Hardhats face are Dylan Workus on the mound with Ben DeVille behind the plate catching. And the 0-1 to Bowman misses low for ball 1. At first is Trey Schmidt, second Tyler Fairchild, at shortstop Alex Gower, and in the hot corner at third is Tom Venner. Left to right in the outfield, Micah Kaufman, Ricky Hanisch, and Cole Workus. Next pitch to Bowman, low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Now his count. Cooper Bowman comes into this at-bat with a .308 batting average. Coach Messer looking for a leadoff threat, hoping Bowman's it. Next pitch is fouled, first base side, and that goes out of play and into Rapid Creek. So the count now evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes for Bowman.
Yeah, and Cooper Bowman, prior to that 3:20 game, got that big grand slam, got his first home run of the season, so it's going to be good to see.
2-2 is swung on and turned on to left field. Ball has some distance on it, but just shy of the warning track, making the catch is Micah Kaufman. So an F7 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and now here comes Drake Messenger. I almost thought you were right on point with that, Teddy. You mentioned the grand slam, and then Bowman just turned on it, but I think the wind kind of stopped it in its tracks there a bit.
Yeah, that wind kind of allowed it to hang up a little bit, but he did. That's exactly what you do with that inside pitch. You turn on it just like he did. However, just got underneath it a little bit, but like I was trying to say, he's about to get on track, so it's a good spot for him to be in that leadoff spot.
Drake Messenger looks at ball 1 inside. Workus right back to it. 1-0, rides even more inside. And 2 balls and no strikes, the starting count here to Messenger. Messenger comes in with a .255 batting average. This is the 14th game out of now 18 played that he has seen the batter's box this season. Here comes the 2-0. That one's in there over the heart of the plate for strike 1. 2-1 now the count to Messenger here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. No one on the base path for the Hardhats, and they trail 1-0. Workus gets his sign. And the 2-1 is swung on and fouled directly behind home plate. That goes into the concourse and will even things at 2-2.
So far with Workus, he's not a velocity pitcher. He's not going to wow you with his speed coming in, but he does have a good amount of movement on his balls when they're coming in. So it could give this post-22 lineup a little fits here because these slow pitchers with good movement have seemed to give them fits in the past. So it would be interesting to see how this lineup is going to adjust and really attack Workus his first time through.
Next pitch went low and away for ball 3. So full count scenario here to Messenger. Workus to the windup. Payoff pitch is swung on and popped foul, and that goes out of play and into the lights, actually.
Yeah, it was almost out of play, but that light stopped it.
I mean, still technically was out of play there, but I was about to say there it goes into Rapid Creek, and then you heard the twang, and it just dropped. Payoff pitch number 2 coming to Messenger, and he swings and hits it, chops it foul, third base side out of play. So payoff pitch number 3 now coming up for Messenger.
And to find success, this lineup has to do exactly what Bowman did in his first at-bat and what Messenger just did with that ball. Turn on these pitches, take it. These right-handed hitters take it to left field. Left-handed hitters take it to right field. And really work that count to get the pitch that you want to see and drive the ball.
Messenger looks at ball 4 high and inside. So now that puts him on the base path with 1 out. He stands on first. And now the heavy bat of Zach Solano batting .426 with 7 home runs. Is now up.
The thing that sticks out to me the most there about Solano, though, is the 25 RBIs as well. So he hits batters in. An extra base hit here could score Messenger from first base, and he's at his best when he's pulling the ball. So a pitcher like Workus plays into Solano's the best of his abilities. So he's looking for a pitch to really drive to the outfield.
First pitch from Workus was inside for ball 1. So Solano has a 1-0 count and a man on first, 1 out. Next pitch is up high. 2 balls, no strikes, and there was a fake check down there to first. Make sure Messenger stayed on the bag. He took a pretty big lead there.
Yeah, and Messenger with a lot of speed. Don't be surprised to see him in motion at some point in this at-bat or in the next at-bat because he can really get moving on these base paths.
Next pitch hits Solano. So he will take another free pass to first. So now 2 men on the base path by virtue of free passes. Messenger with a walk. Solano hit by a pitch, and that's going to bring up the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers, who, astoundingly enough, Teddy, has more extra base hits than he does singles.
Absolutely. We talk about that quite a bit here in this booth. 13 extra base hits to 10 singles for 23 hits total. But he's another one that's really starting to get going, and this is the last batter you want to see. He just got another home run in the last game.
First pitch is hit to first. The bag is tagged, so the force is applied. 2 outs now for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the first, but everybody else advanced 90 feet, so the 3 unassisted moves Solano to second and Drake Messenger 90 feet away from home on third. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Eric Petrie.
Yeah, Eric Petrie leads the team in on-base percentage with a 600 just even on-base percentage. He's been hit 2 times, but walked 8 times, so he gets those free passes, but he can also hit the ball. He got his first home run of the season against Spearfish, so it's going to be fun to see how he handles this and if he can put one into the outfield and really find an empty gap.
Here comes the 0-1. Next pitch is fouled. No balls, had 2 strikes the count. Petrie with a big 2-run jack last Friday there against Post 320 was a great hit because that was such a close game in the early stages too. No balls, 2 strikes to count, 2 men in scoring position. Next pitch to Petrie is low and inside. Ball and 2 strikes to count.
Nice job there by Petrie to pick up that spin early. He was took a step to like he was going to swing, but he picked up that spin and realized it was going to be dropping.
1-2 is low and away. That'll even things at deuces for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Petrie. Should Petrie safely get on the base path, Alex Weaver is on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Pitch to Petrie. Just missed him. It was thrown behind him, and he didn't wear it. I think he's going to get some grief from the dugout there. Pushes his count full.
Well, he tried to wear it. You turn your back. You don't want to take it in the face or the side. That hurts you. The back is always the best spot, but it just broke out and didn't quite catch him.
Payoff, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is going to end the inning for the Hardhats. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 men left on the base path, both of which were in scoring position. And at the end of 1 full inning, the Hardhats trail 1-0 to Watertown Post 17. To the top of the second and their respective defensive positions they go. 6, 7, and 8 2 up for Watertown. Trey Schmidt, Ben DeVille, and Tyler Fairchild. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Post22Live.com.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future. And
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
Schmidt leads off the top half of the second inning for Watertown Post 17. Colton Trubinsky's first pitch to him was swung on and hit to first. Vickers gets the stop underhand toss to Trubinsky, covering the bag is in time. 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Ben DeVille, the catcher.
Really nice play, and throwing 23 pitches in that first inning. You want to get these quick outs here from here on out. Get an efficient inning, keep your pitch count down, and Colton understands that. He realized he pitched a little too much that first inning. He's going to try and have a little more efficient inning here as he faces the bottom part of this lineup.
His first pitch to Ben DeVille is in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to count. So Trey Schmidt he already faced. Ben DeVille he's currently facing. Rounding out those due up here in the top of the second is Tyler Fairchild on deck, the second baseman. 0-1 rides high and inside, and that'll even things to a ball and a strike for Ben DeVille. He is backstopping for Dylan Workus, the starting pitcher for Watertown. One out here in the top of the second. The Hardhats trail 1-0 to Watertown post 17. One run on one hit. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, and that is hit over the head of Matt Vickers, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Vickers. Looked like a duck snort of a hit, if you will, and then he made the leaping grab. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Tyler Fairchild.
Yeah, and that goes to Vickers. He's playing deep right now already in the alignment for the defense. The middle infield first, Vickers at first playing deep. Kramer moderately close to the bag. So that was a good job there by Vickers, getting a good jump on the ball to make that catch in shallow right.
First pitch to Fairchild, misses low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. And I have to make this point here, Teddy. There is an exorbitant amount of lefties in this batting order here for Watertown. I don't think we've seen this many lefties in a lineup yet.
No, it's really interesting to see not many lefties at this level. But Watertown with a lot of lefties. It's nice to see that Sherbinski is not having a problem with these lefties the first time through this lineup.
Next pitch was fouled. Ball and a strike now the count here to Fairchild. 2 outs now on the top of the second. A relatively quick inning for Sherbinski. Here comes the 1-1. That misses the zone low. 2 balls and a strike now the count. So we're talking about that efficiency. 23 pitches in the first inning for Sherbinski. If he keeps up this rally here, he's not even going to see half of that. Here comes the 2-1. That pitch is in there for strike 2, and that'll even things at deuces for Tyler Fairchild. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Sherbinski's only thrown 8 pitches this inning, and he averages just under 18 an inning, so you like to see how efficient it is, and these short innings allow him to go those complete games like the 2 he's coming off of.
2-2, swung on, and Chuck swung for strike 3. Ball got away from Haig, though. Can he make the play? Throw it at first is over the head of Vickers, and it goes into right field. But Alex Weaver comes in to save the day and not allow another base to Fairchild. So it is a strikeout there for Sherbinski. However, the ball was dropped and Fairchild advances to first, so it's a second life, if you will, for Watertown. That's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, Cole Workus.
Yeah, and you never like to see that, especially as a pitcher. You make a very good breaking ball that Fairchild swung on and didn't get even close to making contact with. You should be out of this inning, but you have to face another hitter. This is tough to have to deal with, and you got to bounce back and stay strong there on the mound to get this final out.
First pitch is low to Cole Workus. That's a ball and no strikes to starting count. And I think, Teddy, he could have gotten out of that inning with 9 pitches. Extremely efficient. Now he's going to have to throw a few more. Here comes the 1-0. That catches the outside corner low and away. Ball and a strike now the count.
Yeah, you know, and especially after a 23-pitch first inning, you want to see that 9-pitch inning and less, you know. But it's still an efficient inning. He's still only up to 11 pitches, so you still got to go out once again and get Workus here to get that third out.
Next pitch is low and inside, so that'll push the count to 2 balls and a strike now to Cole Workus. Should he safely get on the base path, on deck is Tom Venner. He walked the first time he was up and came around to score the only run in this game between both clubs. Man on first, 2 outs for Cole Workus. Next pitch is swung on and hit foul, and that goes into Rapid Creek and out of play. Deuce is now the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the breaking ball working for Sherbinski, and Workus at the plate, he's real antsy, he's real ahead, he's throwing his body forward, so something off speed could really catch him off here if that breaking ball could freeze him up here in the box.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count here to Workus from Sherbinski. And the pitch is swung on and hit to first. It goes by Matt Vickers and into right field for a base hit. Weaver charges in to make the stop, gets it into his shortstop in Cooper Bowman. So a strikeout, drop third strike, allows a base runner. Cole Workus then gets a 2-out single. And that is going to bring us back to the top of the order to Tom Benner.
Yeah, should have only seen 3 batters in this inning. Now you're seeing your 5th. So it's kind of mentally taxing there on a pitcher, but you still have to go out, throw strikes, and trust that your defense will get this third out without allowing Watertown to push another run across.
First pitch to Tom Benner, rides high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to Venner, who again walked the first time he was up in a full count scenario and came around to score the only run between both of these clubs. Watertown has the 1-0 lead. 2 outs here in the top of the second, and 2 men on the base path, one of which is in scoring position on second. Sherbinsky gives a look to both. Here comes the 1-0. That's swung on and hit in the air to left center field. Zach Solano is tracking underneath it, calls everybody off, and he makes the catch, and that's going to do it. Well, the Hardhats get out of that inning without allowing any more damage. It's no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. And at the end of an inning and a half, Watertown still leads. 1-0's the score. Hardhats go back to the sticks. Alex Weaver, Sam Haig, and Riley McSherry are due up. We'll be right back here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post 22 Live.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
A full inning and a half in the books here at the Fitz, as they colloquially call Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium here in Rapid City. The Hardhats trail 1-0 to Watertown post 17 and now go back to the offensive. Alex Weaver, the right fielder, leads off, followed by Sam Haig, the catcher, and Riley McSherry, the second baseman. And Teddy, you look at the numbers of Alex Weaver, 250 batting average, and we witnessed his very first hit as a Hardhat was a solo jack to left field, cleared both fences, just an unbelievable hit.
Yeah, and this is another hitter that Workus is going to play into his strength because he pulls that ball and does well at it.
Well, he pushes this one, and it goes right to the second baseman, Tyler Fairchild. So it's an L4 on one pitch in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. Here comes Sam Haig.
He's out so fast, I barely had time to try to get to Weaver's stat line on Game Changer. He saw a really good pitch, made a good swing. You make good contact. You want to see those line drives, but you also want to see him in the holes. So now Sam Haig looking to get it started. Veteran catcher here for this team. He's looking to get his team started and try to tie this game up.
Haig looks at ball 1 high and inside. 1-0 is his starting count. 294 is his batting average. This will be the 9th game to which he sees the batter's box. He drills that one into the hole in left center field. That's a base hit, and it's going all the way to the warning track. Haig turns on his afterburners, and he goes for second. A stand-up double with 1 out here in the bottom half of the second inning. The tying run is in scoring position, and that's going to bring up Riley McSherry.
And that's the second double here for Sam Haig. He also has an in-the-park home run. The first home run of the season for this Hardhat club was that in-the-parker by Sam Haig. So he has that power to get those extra base hits, and that's what I'm talking about to get everything started. Sam Haig, one of the leaders on this team, put himself in scoring position with that double.
Now Riley McSherry now comes up. Batting 167 on the season, but don't let that fool you because Coach Mester said that they've made a lot of adjustments to his swing, and he fouls off his first pitch. 0-1 is starting count. Teddy, and having my conversations with Coach Mester, they worked on his leg kick, and that's a big part to how you follow through.
Absolutely, and it's being able to pull the ball now. McSherry is not trailing on these pitches anymore with that follow through that he's working on, and you can tell that he's been working on his swing so hard because he's hitting the ball harder. Even if he's hitting grounders, they are harder, and it's going to come around. Sooner or later, it's going to click, and he's really going to explode out of the batter's box for this team.
McSherry looked at ball 1 low and away, so 1-1 his count with Haig on second, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Shows bunt, he drops it. The stop is made by Workus, barehanded. Throw to first, he is not in time. Ball is bobbled by the first baseman. Either way, I think McSherry did get the photo finish there at first. So now it's men on the corners for the Hardhats. They're going to rule that as an E3. And that is going to bring up Justin Kramer, the 9-hole hitter.
Well, I don't think it'll be an E3. I think it'll be an error on the throw from Workus because he did short hop it over there to Schmidt at first. And if that ball hits the dirt, that's not on the first baseman anymore, so that's tough. But McSherry with 1 out, I almost guarantee within these first couple pitches, he'll put himself in scoring position over there at second base.
First pitch to Justin Kramer, rides high and inside for ball 1. Now the 9-hole hitter for the Hardhats is up. So correct that in your scorebooks from E3 to E1 because that's where the throw came from. McSherry on base, dropping the bunt down, reached on the error. Sam Haig's now on third. Here comes the 1-0 to Kramer. Breaking ball doesn't break down. 2 balls, no strikes to count.
Justin Kramer's really starting to find his groove as well. He has that 277 batting average, but also that 351 on base percentage, and that's what you really like to see here in these hitters is the fact that they can get on base and they can really bring some runs in.
Next pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1, so Workus, figuratively speaking, now on the board, if you will. 2 balls and a strike now the count to Kramer. He has McSherry leading off of first. To his right, Sam Haig leading off of third to his left. 1 out, bottom of the second. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. McSherry goes to second. Throw is off track, and he will be safe with a stolen base.
And I think McSherry's the leader on the team right now is Kramer at the plate in stolen bases with 4. But I think Riley McSherry's going to give him a run for his money. That's his first stolen base of the season. And with so much speed, he's starting to see more time at second. He could definitely get up there in stolen bases as well.
2-2 to Kramer, swung on and popped foul behind home plate, and it goes off the meshing, not into the glove of Ben DeVille, the catcher. So Kramer is still alive here. 2 balls, 2 strikes his count. But now, more importantly, he has 2 men in scoring position, going back to exactly what you said within the first few pitches. McSherry was going to find a way to get to second.
Absolutely. With 1 out and as much speed that McSherry has, you want to get 2 runners in scoring position. So a base hit here will score him. And Watertown understands that they have their fielders on the grass, so a ground ball could get through pretty easy.
2-2 is swung on and hit in the air to right center field. Underneath it is Hanisch, the center fielder. He makes the catch. Haig tags up from third. He goes home, and he is safe. It's a sac fly RBI for Justin Kramer and the Hardhats. They've evened the game up at 1 with now 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
That was nice right there. You'd like to see the hit to score 2, but with being trailing only 1 run and the top of the lineup coming up, you will take that sacrifice fly because a base hit by Cooper Bowman will score Riley McSherry as the go-ahead run is in scoring position. A nice job there by Justin Kramer to get that ball to the outfield and get that big RBI to tie this game up.
Cooper Bowman is now up. We're back to the top of the Hardhats order. He had an F7 in the scorebook in his first entry, and he fouls off his first pitch into the concourse. 0-1 the count. So Bowman now has McSherry on second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Hardhats have evened this game up at 1 run aside.
And Cooper Bowman bats .375 with runners in scoring position. So he likes this situation, and he understands that a base hit will score McSherry.
He looks at strike 2, low in the zone there. No balls and 2 strikes to count here to Bowman. Dylan Workus looking for his second punch out of the game. Deals the 0-2, and that's swung on and chopped to short. Stops made on the play by Gower. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to end it. 6-3 in the scorebook in Bowman's next entry. Ends the second inning. But the Hardhats do get a run on a hit. 1 defensive error from Watertown post 17, and 1 runner left on the base path in scoring position. And at the end of 2 full innings, the Hardhats have now evened this game up at 1 run aside. To the top of the third we go, and to the Hardhats' respective defensive positions we go. 2, 3, and 4 in the Watertown order due up. Brendan Gabriel, Alex Gower, and Ricky Hanisch. We'll be right back, folks, here on Post22Live.com, the official web stream of Post22 Hardhats Baseball.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Brendan Gabriel now up for Watertown post 17 to start off the top of the third inning. And he looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. No balls and a strike, his starting count. Brendan Gabriel, Alex Gower, Ricky Hanisch due up. Gower 1 for 1 with a ribby. He has one of the only 2 hits Watertown has in this game. Next pitch is swung on and hit right up the middle. Stops made by Bowman from short. Throw to first in time. A great defensive play by Cooper Bowman to put a 6-3 entry in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that brings up Alex Gower.
We talk about this just about every time Cooper Bowman makes a play there short. He's so good defensively. Just a shutdown shortstop. He's going to be a staple in this defense for a while to come because he's so athletic, which allows him to be such an effective shortstop and cover so much ground. That ball would have made it into center field for a single, but he robbed it right there and got that big first out.
First pitch to Gower, skips away from Haig. Nobody on the base path to take advantage of it, though. That's ball 1 to Gower. Gower, the left-handed hitting 3-hole hitter for Watertown, was 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Then he was caught stealing in the top of the first. Here comes the 1-0. Next pitch is foul-tipped into the glove, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike. Ricky Hanisch is on deck. He walked the first time he was up, but didn't leave anywhere further than first base. So Gower, 1 for 1, trying to go 2 for 2. 1 out here, top of the third. We're all tied. 1-1 is swung on and chopped first base side. That is a foul ball. That just landed probably a centimeter to the right of that chalk first base line. Ball and 2 strikes, now the count to Gower.
Yeah, that was a close one. You could have went either way with it. I mean, we don't have as good of an angle. That ball bounced right in front of the umpire, so I think he probably made the right call. That was like a foot in front of him. So now 1-2, Szczerbiński looking for his third punch out of this ball game.
Here comes the 1-2. High and inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Szczerbiński with 2 strikeouts, but his second strikeout was a drop third strike, and the base runner, Tyler Fairchild, made it. That was just in the top of the second inning, 1 frame ago. To the windup he goes. 2-2 pitch to Gower, swung on and hit foul opposite field. He goes third base side now to play. Count remains even at deuces.
Decided a car needed a dent or two. That one was into the parking lot. That's why I always park a little ways down, just in case.
Szczerbiński set to deal the 2-2. Full windup he goes, and the pitch is swung on and hit again. First base side foul. Nice stop made by the umpire as well. Tried to barehand it. Got a decent stop to it. And the count will still remain even at 2-2.
Oh yeah, got to have those soft hands out there. Just ask Coach Messer. Got to be able to think quick on your feet and get out of the way of the ball, stop them. Umpires, coaches, they don't have the gloves like these fielders.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Szczerbiński again deals. That rides inside. Full count. Now to Gower.
And Gower, this is a good at-bat for him. We talk about it when these post-22 hitters are up. The more pitches you see, the more chances the pitcher makes a mistake or throws a ball. So Szczerbiński needs to just bear down and get that fastball in for a strike.
And that goes low and inside for ball 4. So Gower now makes it to the base path twice in as many appearances to the batter's box. RBI single and a walk now are his entries. 1 man still down here for Watertown. That's going to bring up Ricky Hanisch, the center fielder.
And it's kind of amazing that Colton Szczerbiński has went 2 complete games because he only has 1 1-2-3 inning this season. So it's pretty interesting because he faces a lot of batters. His pitch counts gets high, but he's so effective. Like he might give up a couple base runners here and there, but he doesn't allow many runs. And that goes back to that 1.3 ERA that he has. And so this is what you'll get with Colton Szczerbiński. It's the good and the bad, and he's just a little better than good.
First pitch to Hanisch skips away from Haig. He tracks it to the backstop, and Gower takes advantage of that. So now he is in scoring position at second base. Hanisch has a 1-0 count to deal with.
That's a tough pitch right there to try and dig out of the dirt there by Sam Haig. And now that takes away the double play ball. Now you're just hoping for a quick ground ball to hold that runner at second base and still get this out with Hanisch at the plate.
1 ball, no strikes the count to Hanisch. 1 out here in the top of the third. The score is tied 1-1. Watertown has the go-ahead run in scoring position, 180 feet away from the plate. Hanisch walked the first time he was up, full count scenario. Here comes the 1-0. That's right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 now the count here to Hanisch, with Micah Kaufman, who is the first of 2 strikeout victims for Szczerbiński, on deck. Ball and a strike, the count. Szczerbiński checks the man on second and Gower. Deals a 1-1. That rides up high, 2 balls and a strike, now the count.
Sherbinski now about to throw his 53rd pitch of this ball game, and we're into the top of the third inning with only one out. You'd like to see that pitch count just a little bit lower, but he's still staying on track, especially now with Coach Messer allowing these starters to get to about 100 pitches, so he'll be able to give them at least 5 solid innings.
Next pitch is swung on and hit hard in the air to right, but it's going foul. And it goes off that back wall. Weaver tried to track it. That'll even the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sherbinski's looking for the punch out, and boy would it be big in this scenario.
Absolutely, that's about the best case scenario right here is getting that punch out here at the plate of Hanisch, and look for him to go to that breaking ball. That's his put away pitch. It's very hard to hit, has a lot of movement, and if he can throw it for a strike, he gets a lot of backwards Ks with it.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count here to Hanisch. Sherbinski with 2 Ks looking for number 3 and a man on second. Next pitch, breaking ball, caught him looking, strike 3. What a heck of a breaking ball that was. Strikeout number 3, first one backwards in the book. 2 men down with that man in scoring position. Here comes Micah Kaufman. Wow.
Like I was telling you, if he could throw that for a strike, it freezes these hitters up, and that's exactly what he did to Hanisch. That was a big punch out for his 3rd of the game and 18th of the season.
First pitch from Sherbinski is high and inside for ball 1 on Kaufman. Kaufman was the first of now 3 strikeout victims for Sherbinski. What a bender that was, too. You could not have placed that pitch any more perfect.
Oh, no, it was going right at Hanisch there and broke over the inside part of the play. That's about as perfect of a pitch as you can get, and it stayed low in the zone. That's hard to hit.
1-0 is swung on and hit foul. That's going first base side into the stands. And now the count evens at 1-1. Should Kaufman safely get on the base path in this at bat, Trey Schmidt is on deck. He is 0 for 1 with a 3-1 put out. Kaufman now with a 1-1 count. He has Alex Gower still standing on second. He's been there for a while. He's the go-ahead run on the base path, 180 feet away from the plate. Ball and a strike the count. Sherbinski's trying to get out of this top half of the 3rd. Next pitch, low and inside. Ball did not get away from Haig. And Gower retreats to second, so smart base running on his part. Good on Haig to stop it in front of him. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, and it was big on Haig to get Gower in that first inning to punch him out a second when he tried to steal, because now this team is going to be real weary about getting these base runners in motion against Sam Haig behind the plate.
2-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. Breaking ball broke way out of the zone, and Kaufman went for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Sherbinski's on the cusp of K number 4 in the scorebook.
Yeah, and Sherbinski already 3rd on the team in strikeouts. He's still 8 behind Cody Carlson, who is 2nd, so I don't know if he's going to catch him. He might see himself sitting at 3rd for the rest of the season, but he's having himself a good outing so far.
2-2 is swung on and chopped foul, 3rd base side. Jason Hers makes the stop out of the dugout. They get a fresh ball to Sherbinski, and the count will hold at 2-2. Jason Hers, of course, the pitching coach for the Hardhats. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count here to Micah Kaufman. 2 outs, top of the 3rd. There's a man on second in this game, all square at 1. Watertown's trying to go ahead for the 2nd time in this game. But Kaufman has to get a base hit to knock home Alex Gower on second. Sherbinski's looking for strikeout number 4. Just got his 3rd in the last batter that he faced. On a backwards K. Here comes the 2-2. Low, and that's going to push things full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And this is the 4th payoff pitch here for Sherbinski. That is part of the reason why his pitch count is now up to 60 pitches. So we'll keep an eye on that, how far he's going to be able to go in this game with averaging about exactly 20 pitches. It'll be a little over now with this next pitch per inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Another payoff pitch for Sherbinski, and he steps off the rubber and takes some time. In this game so far, Sherbinski has faced a full count now 4 times. Checks the runner. Here's the payoff. Inside, ball 4. And he walks Micah Kaufman. So now there's 2 men on the base path, and that's going to bring up Trey Schmidt, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out. And now head coach Mitch Messer is going to come out and have a quick word with Sherbinski.
Yeah, that's now 4 walks issued on the day compared to 3 strikeouts. You still only have that 1 run pushed across, but you do have that runner in scoring position, and Sherbinski still he's gonna stay in this game for a little while. A couple more innings, probably 4 or 5 innings they'll give him. But they want to start seeing him be a little more efficient, a little more effective in hitting that strike zone without allowing so many runners with that free pass.
And I mentioned that was the 4th payoff scenario Sherbinski had seen in this game. Every time he's had a full count scenario, he's walked the batter. So you'd like to see him get that back-breaking strikeout. The full count, the batter's battled so far, you break his back and you force him to strike out, but every time he's allowed a free pass, and that's through 2 2/3 innings. He now faces Trey Schmidt. The lefty pops that one foul, third base side, and that's going out of play. The count will start at 0-1 from Sherbinski to Schmidt. On deck is Ben DeVille, the catcher. And he is also 0 for 1. He popped out to Matt Vickers back in the top half of the second. Should Trey Schmidt be the final batter of this inning, the Hardhats will go to 2, 3, and 4. Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers. Next pitch is in there for strike 2 on Schmidt. Now Sherbinski 1 pitch away from putting it into the top half of the third, getting strikeout number 4. No balls, 2 strikes to the count. Schmidt has men on first and second, 2 outs, top of a tied third inning. Next pitch is low. Gower didn't go from second to third, so now a ball and 2 strikes goes to Trey Schmidt.
Gower's getting that big leadoff. He's going about halfway to third every single time. He's going to tire himself out running back and forth, but, like I said, after he was caught stealing in that first inning, they're not going to put many runners in motion against Haig.
Here's the 1-2. Low. And Gower again going halfway, goes right back to second. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Another good stop there by Haig, keeping it in front.
Yeah, 1 runner in scoring position is enough. If a ball gets past him, that'd be 2 runners. So nice job by Sam Haig being a wall behind the plate and really bailing out Sherbinski on those borderline pitches.
2-2, swung on it, missed strike 3, and that's going to do it. K number 4 for Colton Sherbinski ends the top half of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. However, 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, we are all still tied at 1 run aside. To the bottom half of this third inning we go. The Hardhats will see Drake Messenger with a walk, Zach Solano with a hit by pitch, and Matt Vickers 0 for 1 due up on the offensive. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FD.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
All set now for the bottom half of the third inning. The Post 22 Hardhats back on the offensive, trying to break this 1-1 deadlock here in the bottom of the third. Drake Messenger leads off, tries to drop the bunt. It goes by Workus, throw to first is not in time. Drake Messenger with the infield bunt single. The leadoff man is aboard. That's going to bring up Zach Solano.
Huge right there by Messer. I thought Workus might have a play on it because Messer did pop that bunt up a little bit, but it died right in front of Workus, and that speed of Messer, there was no way he was going to catch him. So nice job there by Drake to really get on his horse and get that infield single.
Zach Solano now up. He was hit by a pitch the first time he was up, and his first pitch is hit foul to the right of our broadcast booth and off the glass of Shep's Peak. Great place to watch the game from if you've ever been up there. No balls and a strike to starting count here to Solano. Matt Vickers patiently waits on deck. Right now, Zach Solano has Drake Messenger on first, no one out here in the bottom of the third. Next pitch is high and away, and Zach Solano now has a 1-1 count. Solano leads this team in both slugging percentage at .951 and on base plus slugging at .1465. Unbelievable statistics. 1-1 is swung on and hit to short. Gower makes the stop. 6-4, 3 double play won't happen. It'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice as the throw to first didn't have enough pop to get Solano. So he beats out the throw. Either way, took the first baseman off his pathway to catching the ball on the bag. Still a man on first and now one down, and that's going to bring up Matt Vickers.
Yeah, that's tough. You'd like to see him at least advance Messenger into scoring position, but with one out, look for him to maybe get in motion and try and get himself into scoring position with Vickers at the plate here.
Matt Vickers looks at his first pitch high and away for ball one. Want to know his starting count with Solano on first and now one out here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats and Watertown post 17 all knotted up at 1. Next pitch to Vickers rides high, 2 balls and no strikes. Vickers on the game 0 for 1. He was involved in a 3 unassisted putout to first.
And he's looking for a base hit. He leads this team with that .460 average, and he's just been on fire lately. He's still looking to get a big hit for his team and try and get some runs across with that go-ahead.
2-0 rides high and outside, so that'll push Vickers' count to 3 balls and no strikes, with the designated hitter Eric Petrie on deck, 1 pitch away from seeing the batter's box. 3-0 the count here to Vickers. And that is high and away for ball 4. So it's a straight 4-pitch walk for Vickers. And now there are 2 men on for the Hardhats. Zach Solano in scoring position of those 2. And that brings up Eric Petrie 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
And Petrie's looking to really redeem himself with that strikeout. It ended that first inning with 2 runners in scoring position. So he's looking to get a big base hit here and drive Solano in for that go-ahead RBI run.
First pitch is swung on and hit weakly to left center, and it drops. That's a base hit. Everybody's going to advance 90 feet. The bases are now loaded. Eric Petrie gets the bloop single, and that's going to bring up Alex Weaver, who is 0 for 1 with that line out to second base. The right-handed hitter pushed the ball, made some great contact, but Tyler Fairchild at second made a heck of a catch.
Yeah, it's a big spot here for Weaver. This is where a base hit will score 2, and you can really see a big inning coming with only 1 out. You just got to stay away from that double play ball. With the corners in, look to try to go somewhere there and get it past them either at first or third.
First pitch to Weaver is strike 1. Catches the zone. No balls at a strike to count here to Weaver. Lined out to second the first time he was up. Full windup now for Workus. 0-1 rides up high. Ball and a strike now the count. Should a double play not end the inning, Sam Haig is on deck, and he doubled the last time he was up, but was stranded at third on the base path. Here comes the 1-1 to Weaver with the bases loaded. Next pitch is fouled, and that goes out of play off of a tin roof there from the grandstand and out. Ball and 2 strikes now to Weaver.
I don't like those check swings. That indecisiveness in the batter's box is the difference between a hit and a foul ball. So if you're going to swing hard. And now Weaver, he's looking to get a base hit with these 2 strikes on him.
1-2, caught him looking. Strike 3 with a breaking ball that caught the inside part of the plate. Strikeout number 2 for Dylan Workus. 2 down now for the Hardhats. Bases still loaded, and that's going to bring up Sam Haig.
That was a good breaking ball by Workus. It just froze Weaver at the plate. It was coming at him and broke over the inside part of the plate. Real hard pitch to hit, but you don't, especially with the base load, you don't want to go down looking in that situation.
Haig looks at the first pitch low and inside. Ball briefly got away from DeVille, but wasn't enough to advance all the runners on the base path. So ball and no strikes to starting count here to Haig, who was 1 for 1 with that double and was stranded at third back in the bottom half of the second. Hardhats with a glorious opportunity to take the lead. 1-1 tie, bases loaded, 2 outs. Next pitch is swung on and hit right to the third baseman. And they're going to call Matt Vickers out at third. So it's a 5 unassisted play by Tom Venner at third, and that's going to end the Hardhats' threat. No runs on 1 hit, no errors on the inning. And at the end of 3 full innings, we are still tied 1 run aside. To the top of the 4th we go. Ben DeVille, Tyler Fairchild, and Cole Workus. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on Post22Live.com.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Back to it we go here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Almost half of this game over. After this next half inning, we will officially have 3.5 of the 7 innings of regulation played. Right now the score stands at 1-1. Big deadlock between Watertown Post 17 and your Post 22 Hardhats. Statistically across the board, Watertown has their 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error defensively. The Hardhats on the flip side have 1 run on 3 hits. No blemishes in the field. So now we turn to 7, 8, and 9 in the Watertown batting order. Ben DeVille, the catcher, 0 for 1. Tyler Fairchild, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but it was a drop third strike, and he was on the base path. And then Cole Workus, 1 for 1 with a single. First pitch to DeVille hits him. So just like that, another free base runner is awarded by the Hardhats. And DeVille takes first base. Nobody out, a man on. Here comes Tyler Fairchild.
And that's now 5 free base runners, 4 by the virtue of walk and 1 hit batter. So you got to get a ground ball now in this situation. You don't want to allow Watertown to come back with a big inning, especially after gaining that momentum of holding the Hardhats with the bases loaded. So you got to get something on the ground here, try and clear these bases of this runner.
Tyler Fairchild 0 for 1, as I mentioned earlier, he struck out, but the third strike was dropped. He drops the bunt. It comes to Kramer charging from third. Throw to first, over the head of Vickers, and he's safe. It took him off the bag. Vickers made the catch, but it took him off the bag. So now there's 2 men on with nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Watertown with a glorious opportunity to strike. That was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt. They're going to label that an error, an E5 on the play, on the throw. And now you'd have to think count. You're exactly right. Matt Vickers is relatively close to home. The second the pitch was thrown, you'd think Vickers was in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. Here comes a 1-0. Bunt is showed. Pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes.
And that's only the second error there by Justin Kramer. He's a very good third baseman, and I believe both of them have came on bunts, if memory serves me correct. And a double play with
rides high and inside. Ball 3 now. 3 balls, no strikes to the count. Work is still showing the sacrifice, or the bunt, I mean, with the intention of sacrificing. He would move the runners on first and second with no outs to second and third and put an out on the board should there not be a gaff. Here comes a 3-0. That's low, ball 4, and that walks the bases loaded on 4 straight pitches. So Workus on first, Fairchild on second, DeVille on third. That brings us back to the top of the order to Tom Brenner. Excuse me.
We might see the end of Colton Sherbensky here. That's now his 5th walk issued, and with the bases loaded here, they might let him go a little bit, but I don't see him going much deeper in this ball game. Yeah, there's the ball there, and you know he had himself a good game. He still kept his team in this with the 1-1 tie, but with the bases loaded, that's a tough outing, especially coming off 2 very stellar performances. You wish you could go a little deeper in the ball game. Did Sherbensky.
Well, Will Moore's now going to come on. The left-hander will take over for Colton Sherbensky. So we'll take a quick 30-second recess here, and we'll be right back with some stats and numbers on both Sherbensky's start and on what Will Moore will bring to the table statistically. We'll be right back, folks, here on Post22Live.com in just a few moments.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how
they stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Well, Will Moore takes over pitching duties for Colton Stravinsky, and what a jam he comes into. Bases loaded here in the top of the fourth of a tie ball game at 1-1 with no one out. And now he faces the top of the order in Tom Venner. Moore comes in with 8 1/3 innings pitched. 6 appearances on the season. Left-handed hurling Hardhat throws a two-seam fastball in there for strike one. 0-1 starting count. One of those appearances was a start, so this is his 6th relief appearance on the year. Has a 1-0 record with 9 strikeouts to 4 walks and a 3.24 ERA. Next pitch is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and Will Moore is starting on fire right now. 0-2, bases loaded, looking for that big punch-out.
If he can get Venner here at the plate, that would be absolutely huge, and because the double play ball could get out of this jam, so a big opportunity right here.
0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. A humongous strikeout for Will Moore. His first batter in relief, he rings him up. 1 down for Watertown. They still have the bases loaded. That brings up the lefty, Brandon Gabriel, the designated hitter.
Like I said, that was huge. Now if you can get a ground ball to the middle infield, you roll it. If it's to the corners, you're still coming home to prevent that run, but huge first strike.
First pitch misses for ball 1. That's the first ball that Will Moore's thrown to 2 batters. 1-0 the count here to Brennan Gabriel. He is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a 6-3 ground out. Will Moore, the young lefty, in relief. 1-0, rides high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. And while we have a quick moment, stat line on Colton Stravinsky here.
Colton Stravinsky went 3+ innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run so far, still responsible for all 3 batters on the base path. Walked 5, struck out 4, hit 1 batter, all on 71 pitches.
Next pitch, rides high and outside, and that is ball 3. Will Moore in a dangerous scenario here. He is 1 ball away from knocking in a run and giving Watertown a 2-1 lead here. Bases are loaded, 1 out, top of the 4th. We're tied at 1. Will Moore in relief, trying to keep it a 1-1 game. 3-0 is in there for strike 1. 3-1 the count. Will Moore with great command of his off-speed pitches. Might go to 1 here. Throw off Brennan Gabriel. 3 balls into strike the count, bases loaded. 3-1, catches the corner. Strike 2. Count goes full, and a huge payoff pitch coming up for Will Moore.
Yeah, and he's commanding his fastball very well. So even with this payoff pitch, everyone knows he's going to come with that fastball, and I just got to place it well enough to try and get Gabriel out or behind it and get that second strikeout.
Payoff pitch, low and away, ball 4, and that is going to walk in the go-ahead run. It's an RBI walk there for Brennan Gabriel, and now 2-1 is the Watertown lead. So now you have to amend Colton Stravinsky's statistical line to 2 runs, both of them earned.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Like you said, it's a tough situation for Will Moore to come into, and if you can get away with only that 1 run, then it's definitely a success.
Well, the double play ball is still in effect to end the inning, and plus, if the first batter in relief for Will Moore was any indication, he can get out of this.
Absolutely,
no doubt. Here comes his first pitch now, Alex Gower, and that misses low for ball 1. Alex Gower 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the top of the 1st. Last time he walked and was stranded in scoring position on 2nd. One ball, no strike the count, bases loaded still. That catches the zone for strike 1. Now to Gower. Should a double play not end this inning? Ricky Hanisch, the center fielder's on deck, 0 for 1 with a backwards K in the book and a walk. 1-1 from Moore. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Alex Gower was way ahead of that. Ball and 2 strikes to count.
It was a real nice changeup right there to really throw off the speed there of Gower. And with the 1-2 count so far ahead, look for Moore to go to that really big bending breaking ball. And against a left-handed hitter in Gower, you could send it away from him.
1-2 is swung on and hit in the air to left center field. Zach Solano is tracking underneath it, makes the catch. The runner goes from third. Solano gets the ball into Vickers. We're not going to have a play at the plate. But they're saying that he didn't tag up. So Vickers is going to throw to third. No, now they do say that he tagged up. So the run scores. It's an RBI sac fly for Alex Gower. And now 3-1 is the Watertown lead.
That was a nice play there by Solano. He got the ball out in perfect time. It was a great throw down to home. Just couldn't quite get Fairchild in there from scoring. But now with runners on first and second, it's nice to see you don't have that runner on third. You have 2 outs and you can get out of this with only a little damage done.
Hanisch is now up. First pitch is swung and turned on to left, and it goes over the head of Drake Messenger, and it goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is going to score. The green light is given. Here comes the second run. Do we have a play at the plate? The throw is not in time. It is a bases clearing 2-out RBI double for Ricky Hanisch, and now the lead is 5-1 for Watertown with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Tough play out there by Messenger. That ball was just absolutely darting, and he froze. He thought he was going to have a play on it, but the ball just carried and went right over his head and cleared these bases as Gabriel was scoring from first base. That's tough. You got to get out of this. Now you have 2 outs. You have to get out of this, and all those runs are credited there to Colton Sherbinski, so he's now allowed 5 runs with 4 of them earned.
First pitch from Will Moore to now Micah Kaufman is in there for strike 1 on a 2-seamer. No balls in a strike the count here to Kaufman, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. He comes into this at-bat with now a man on second and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. 4 runs plated by Watertown. Next pitch is low and inside. Haig loses it in his legs. And taking advantage of third was Ricky Hanisch. So now he's 90 feet away from making this a 6-1 game. 1-1 now the count from Moore to Kaufman. Unfortunate turn of events here for the Hardhats on the defensive side of things. 1 error in the inning. And now here's strike 2 from Will Moore. 1 error in the inning. A hit batter. And then bases loaded scenario. Will Moore 1 pitch away from ending the bleeding. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Will Moore with 1 K in relief. He's looking for K number 2, and it would be a big one because it would mean that his team now goes to the offensive here in the bottom half of this inning. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and chopped foul, third base side and away from the third base coach for Watertown. Count holds his deuces. Should Kaufman be the last last batter really for Watertown of this inning? Riley McSherry, Justin Kramer in the back to the top of the order. Cooper Bowman would be due up for post 22 on offense. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and fouled. And Micah Kaufman still stays alive. Right now it's 4 runs on 1 hit in this inning. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is going to end the top half of the 4th. 4 runs on 1 hit, 1 error defensively for the Hardhats, and 1 man left on base in scoring position. And at the end of 3.5 innings, the Hardhats now have their work cut out for them. They trail 5-1. With, again, Riley McSherry, Justin Kramer, and Cooper Bowman due up in the bottom half of the 4th. We'll be right back, folks. We have officially completed half of this regulation game. We'll be right back here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, We've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Well, Riley McSherry starts off the bottom of the fourth with a bang, an infield single to short. That's a heck of a way to start off a round. Yeah, that's 2 innings in a row with infield singles. That brings up Justin Kramer, who had a sac fly RBI last time he was up.
McSherry's now reached base in both his plays. The E1 and now that infield single, and he already has stolen base, so he might be looking to get another one in this game. You got to be aggressive.
He goes. Next pitch is swung on and hit to left field. That's a base hit. Everybody's going to advance 90 feet. McSherry is on second. They had the hit and run on, but more importantly, Teddy, Justin Kramer put that ball in a perfect spot because the third baseman, Tom Venner, was charging in thinking he was going to bunt him over, and he didn't. He put it right in the hole.
Yeah, I thought that sac ball was coming, and he put it in the exact same spot McSherry did, but with Werner crashing down from third base, was able to get into left field, and now you could think that the sacrifice will be on with Cooper Bowman to try and get 2 runners in and ultimately cut into this 4-run deficit that Watertown amassed in that top of the 4th inning.
2 base runners on 2 pitches, both of them by hits for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Bowman. He drops the bunt down. It comes right back to the catcher. Stops made by DeVille. Throw is in the dirt, and it goes all the way into right field. Bowman's going to advance to second. McSherry's going to score, and Kramer's going to hold up at third. It's an E2 on the play, and the Hardhats have cut the deficit. It's now 5-2. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and 2 men in scoring position.
1 run already plated, 2 men in scoring position on 3 pitches this inning. Post 22 relies on that big inning, and this definitely has the makings to be that big inning for the Hardhats.
So now here comes Drake Messenger with men on second and third. Still no one out. Like Teddy said, only 3 pitches have been thrown in this inning. First pitch to Messenger. Catches the corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count here to Messenger, who is 1 for 1 with a walk and a bunt single. Here comes his 0-1. Swung on and fouled, and quickly he is behind 0-2. The big bat of Zach Solano patiently waits on deck.
Yeah, that's who everyone's looking to on the on-deck circle. They realize he's on deck, and if Messenger can drive in at least 1, maybe 2 of these, you could really cut a gap here. You close in this gap on Watertown.
0-2 to Messenger is low and away, and DeVille makes the stop behind home. So nobody advances from either second or third. So ball and 2 strikes now the count here to Messenger. Zach Solano is on deck. 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, grounded into a fielder's choice, but he was safe. Here comes the 1-2. Low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, count evens up for Messenger. On third, he has Justin Kramer. On second, he has Cooper Bowman. Here comes the 2-2 to Messenger. Swung on and hit into center field. That's a base hit. Kramer is going to trot home. Bowman gets the green light. He's going home, and he is safe. It's a 2-run, no-out RBI single for Drake Messenger, and the Hardhats now trail 5-4. Still no outs here in this bottom half of the 4th.
Yeah, this is that big inning that we like to talk about, trailing 1. You answer that big inning that Watertown had, plating 4 in the top of the 4th. Now you come back in the bottom. You plated 3 so far, and still a runner on base with no outs. This is the makings of something special here for the Hardhats.
And now here comes the big bat of Zach Solano. We know with his power, 1 swing, the Hardhats could have the lead here. He looks at ball 1 outside. 1-0 his starting count. He was hit by a pitch the first time he was up, stranded in scoring position at second, grounded into a fielder's choice last time, stranded at third. His Messenger on first, nobody out. As 1-0 swung on and ripped to short. Stops made. 6, 4, 3. Double play will not happen. The ball was bobbled. The ball was bobbled on the play by Trey Schmidt. So Zach Solano once again on base with a 6-4 fielder's choice. One out now for the Hardhats with Solano on first, and that brings up Matt Vickers, who's 0 for 1 with a walk.
And that's back-to-back 6-4 fielder's choice by Solano. You'd like to see him try to get going here. He's still yet to get a hit, but he'll definitely get going, and he'll come in for you late in the ball game when you need a hit.
Matt Vickers looks at ball 1 outside. He walked on 4 straight pitches last time he was up. That was back in the bottom half of the third. Here comes the 1-0. That catches the outside corner for strike 1. Ball and a strike now, the count here to Vickers.
I think our mics can pick up the groans from this from the audience out here. The fans, they didn't agree with that strike either. That was a tough call.
1-1, low and inside. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year in Matt Vickers. And what a season he had last year. Having an even better one this year. He has more extra base hits than he does singles. Here comes the 2-1 to Vickers. Swung on, turned on, put in the right field. That's a base hit, and it's going to go just shy of the warning track. All the way to third is Zach Solano. All the way to second is Matt Vickers with a stand-up double. 2 men in scoring position, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Eric Petrie, due up for a colossal hit. 1 for 2 with a single to this point.
That's the 11th double on the season there for Matt Vickers. You talked about the extra base hits. There's another one right there for Vickers. He was thinking double as soon as he got out of the box, and now a base hit from Petrie could give the Hardhats the lead. Really coming in hot right now. That's 4 hits allowed just in this inning alone. So this Hardhat offense really doing work, and Petrie already 1 for 2 in this game.
Petrie swings and misses at his first pitch, 0-1 the count. And by the way, we talk about, again, to bring up the point one more time, how Matt Vickers has more extra base hits than he does singles. Now he has more doubles alone than singles, 11-10. Next pitch to Petrie, misses low and away. Ball and a strike now the count here to Petrie with 2 men in scoring position on second and third. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The Hardhats were down 5-1. They're now down 5-4. Workus to the windup, deals a 1-1. That rides a little too far inside for the umpire's taste. 2 balls and a strike now the count here to Petrie.
And those 2 RBIs there by Messenger early on in this inning, that now puts 6 Hardhat hitters with double-digit RBI totals this season. So driving in a lot of runs, and Petrie has a chance to do the same here.
2-1 is turned on and destroyed, but foul third base side. My goodness, he tattooed that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count.
Yeah, he's picking up these pitches from Workus very well. 2-2 the count. He does have a strikeout in this ball game, also with a single, so he's got to be careful with these 2 strikes and protect.
2-2 is swung on and blooped. Foul, third base side, just shy of the Hardhats dugout. And Tom Venner, the third baseman, will watch the ball drop. Count holds at 2-2. Could have spelled disaster, but Petrie gets another life.
Yeah, this is a tension-filled at bat right here. And Petrie always battle. Very, very good 2-strike hitter. So he's not really feeling it too much, and he's looking to get a base hit here.
2-2. Swung on and drilled to left field. Ball has some distance. It is high. It is far. It is gone. A 3-run home run for Eric Petrie. The Hardhats are back on top. 7-5 is the score.
And just like that big innings coming in, 6 runs plated, half of them due to that 3-run blast there by Eric Petrie. You mentioned it on that foul ball early in the at-bat that he destroyed that ball. That one was even farther. He turned on this pitch and absolutely sent it over the wall. There was no doubt as soon as that pitch left his bat that it was going to be a home run. Just an absolute clutch piece of hitting by number 23 there in the batter's box.
1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The Hardhats allowed 4. They have now plated 6. They are up for the first time in this game. 7-5 now their lead. Alex Weaver takes to the batter's box, and he looks at ball 1 high and inside. 1-0 his starting count. 0 for 2 his stat line with a line out and a strikeout looking, and that strikeout came with the bases loaded back in the bottom of the third. 1-0 to Weaver, swung on and missed, and that'll even things there at a ball and a strike.
I need to amend my stat. That's now 7 Hardhat hitters with double-digit RBIs, and Eric Petrie becomes the 3rd Hardhat this season with multiple home runs in the season. So just having himself a really good night and good season.
Weaver hits that ball to third. Venner gets the stop, and his throw to first is in time. 5-3 in the scorebook there. Now 2 down for the Hardhats on the offensive. We have officially batted through the lineup with Sam Haig now coming into the batter's box. In this game, 1 for 2 with a double, and he grounded into a fielder's choice.
Always relying on that big inning. 6 runs played, a 2-run lead. This Hardhat club is now back in control of this ball game over Watertown.
First pitch to Haig, right high and inside for ball 1. 6 runs scored in this inning for the Hardhats.
Yeah, we had to bat through the lineup because McSherry had to get his shin guard, and so did Kramer.
Here comes the 1-0. That's in there for strike 1 to Haig. Ball and a strike now the count. As it stands right now, the Hardhats have plated 6 runs on 5 hits with 1 blemish defensively for Watertown. That's their second error of the game. Here comes the 1-1 to Haig. Swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to the backstopper for the Hardhats. There's nobody on the base path here for Haig. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. It is a 7-5 Hardhat lead. Here comes the 1-2. Check swung, fouled. I think Haig tried to avoid that one, just clipped the bat there.
I think it hit the handle of the bat, the butt, right on the bottom, the bottom when he came to come, when he came to go around, and you could see it on his face when he turned around. He really didn't want to swing at that, so he's glad they'd got a new life.
1-2, low and away, and Haig doesn't fish for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to the Hardhats backstopper.
Now Workus is up to 81 pitches, about throws 82nd. We still don't see any action in the Watertown bullpen. It's going to be tough to see what's going on.
2-2, caught him looking, strike 3, and that is going to end the bottom half of the 4th. But what a bottom half this was. 6 runs on 5 hits, 1 Watertown error, nobody left on the base path for the Hardhats, and at the end of 4 full innings, they are on top for the first time in this game. 7-5 is now the score. We now go to the top of the 5th inning. Watertown will have 6, 7, and 8 to up. Trey Schmidt, Ben DeVille, and Tyler Fairchild. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Post22Live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Back to defense, the Hardhats go. Will Moore still in relief for Colton Sherbinsky. Deals a first pitch ball to his first opponent of this top half of the 5th in Trey Schmidt, the lefty first baseman. 1-0 quickly turns into a rip foul first base side, and that will even things at a ball and a strike. Will Moore in relief for a second consecutive inning will face Trey Schmidt, followed by Ben DeVille and Tyler Fairchild, and Schmidt comes into this at-bat 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That was the 4th and final strikeout issued by Colton Sherbinsky in his start. 1-1. Breaking ball catches the zone. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Beautiful curveball there for Moore.
Yeah, really nice breaking ball on that outside part of the plate, and the left-handed Moore against the left-handed Schmidt, so that breaks away from Schmidt. It's an effective pitch.
1-2, caught him looking, strike 3 on the outside corner. Will Moore gets strikeout number 3 in relief. First by a backwards K. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That brings up Ben DeVille, who's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, and came around to score.
And this will be DeVille's first time seeing Will Moore, and the lefty Moore's got to have the advantage here against the right-handed DeVille.
Moore throws his first pitch low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to DeVille. He was the at-bat that really sparked that top half of the fourth for Watertown. He was hit by a pitch, eventually came around to score in that bases-loaded scenario. 1-0, breaking ball is in there for a strike, and another great curveball there by Moore. Ball and a strike now the count.
Yeah, he has that late break on it that makes it so hard for these hitters to pick up that spin, and they don't think it's going to break, and it just bites at the end.
2-0 is swung on and hit in the air to center field. Zach Solano is underneath it. Trotz makes the catch. F8 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Tyler Fairchild, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. However, it was a drop third strike, and he made it to the base path. And then the last time he reached on an error. The first one and the only one of the game for the Hardhats.
Will Moore, very effective of his 8 1/3 coming into this game. Will Moore has had 3 1-2-3 innings, so he's a very effective, and he's good with 2 outs facing these batters.
First pitch rides high and inside, ball 1 to Fairchild. Want to remind everybody, and we'll get into it a little more as the broadcast goes on, but Black Hills Works Day is this Sunday, the 2:30 Hardhats game. The Hardhats are going to honor Special Olympics softball teams. Prior to the start of the game, a Special Olympian from the softball team will throw out the first pitch. It's going to be just a great day. Caps off our 4 games in 4 days against 4 different opponents. Moore draw ball 2, and now he deals ball 3 outside. 3 balls and no strikes to count here to Tyler Fairchild, but it's also Echo Works will also be there. Free electronic recycling services will be fashioned at the game. Ball 4 dealt high and away, so Fairchild gets a 2-out walk on 4 straight pitches. That is going to bring up Cole Workus.
And that's now walk number 2 here for Will Moore. He's still effective, still doing a nice job in relief on the mound, and he's up to 32 pitches, so we might see him go the distance, maybe at least go through the 6th and have a closer come in, but he's having a nice relief appearance here for the Hardhats.
First pitch to Workus, high and outside, ball 1. Workus is 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. His run came in that top half of the 4th. 1-0. 2-seam fastball's in there for a strike. 1-1 now the count to Workus with a man on first and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
That 2-seam fastball from these left-handed pitchers is probably the most effective pitch against these right-handed hitters, and you see him throwing it a lot.
1-1 is swung on and hitting to right. That's a base hit. Weaver comes in to field it, gets it to the infield as quickly as he can, and now 2 base runners allowed in back-to-back at-bats, 1 by a walk, this one by a hit in Workus, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the Watertown order to Tom Venner, a third baseman with 2 men on, one of which is in scoring position.
The last time Venner faced Will Moore here, he struck out with the bases loaded, the first batter that Moore faced, so it's going to be interesting to see. Venner's trying to come and bring some vengeance back.
Swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets the scoop, easy toss to seconds in time, and the 6-4 fielder's choice will end the inning. So Watertown gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on the base path, and at the end of 4.5 innings, the Hardhats have preserved their 7-5 lead over Watertown. They go to try and expand it in the bottom half of this inning. We start off the bottom of the 5th exactly where the bottom of the 4th started off, and that's with Riley McSherry, Justin Kramer, and Cooper Bowman due up. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on Post22Live.com with the bottom half of the 5th.
When a banker takes understanding your business, then you know reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Riley McSherry kicks off the bottom half of the 5th inning. Also kicked off the bottom half of that big 6-run bottom of the 4th that the Hardhats just came off of. Riley McSherry, 1 for 2 with a bunt single, reached on an error, followed by Justin Kramer. McSherry's first pitch is a swing and a miss. 0-1 his starting count. Kramer singled and had a sacrifice fly RBI, and then Cooper Bowman reached on an error in that last inning as well. McSherry fouls off the next pitch. Count quickly balloons to 0-2. McSherry 1 for 2 with a run scored, and that run did come in the bottom half of the fourth. Got things started there for the Hardhats with that bunt single. Here comes the 0-2. Low and away, and that skips by DeVille, but nobody's on the base path to take advantage. Ball and 2 strikes now to Riley McSherry.
Yeah, Riley McSherry, you talked about it earlier, how he's been working on his swing with hitting coach and Coach Messer, and you can tell, you can see he's still looking to get a base hit here, even though he's down 1-2.
And now his count evens to 2-2 as that one goes high and outside. 2-2 the count here to McSherry. McSherry, Kramer, Bowman due up. Work is still on the mound. 2-2, a swung on and hit hard in the air to right center field. Underneath it, though, is Cole Workus from right, and he makes the catch. Well hit ball by McSherry. F9 in the scorebook, though. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that brings up Justin Kramer, 1 for 1 with a sac fly RBI, a single, and a run scored.
And that was tough right there, McSherry, who got his arms extended, but he bent at the hips to reach for that pitch, and that caused his bat to sink and get underneath it to pop it up. So once you work with that swing a little bit more, you're going to see McSherry start to step with that lead foot towards where he's going to hit it and try and drive that ball instead of reaching for it.
Justin Kramer tried to go for another bunt single, one of his many on the season. However, it careened foul third base side. Is 0-1. Catches the zone low and away. Strike 2. 0-2 now the count.
Workus about to throw his 90th pitch. We still don't see any action in the bullpen. We think about maybe one of the fielders is going to come into pitch, or they're just going to let this kid be the workhorse for this team. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how long they let Workus go.
Next pitch is a fastball low and away, and a ball and 2 strikes is now the count to Justin Kramer. Cooper Bowman on deck 0 for 3 with a run scored. Here comes the 1-2. Low and away, and that'll even things at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Hardhats have a 7-5 lead. Now they're looking to expand upon it. Statistically across the board through this point in the game, Watertown has 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 blemishes in the field. The Hardhats 7 runs on 8 hits and 1 error defensively themselves. Justin Kramer, 2 balls, 2 strikes from Workus. To the windup he goes, and the pitch is high and inside, buzzes the tower. And now it's a full count to Kramer here in the batter's box. Cooper Bowman patiently waiting in the on-deck circle, looking for his first hit of the ballgame. 3-2, caught him looking, strike 3. Tough pitch for Kramer to take there, but now there are 2 up and 2 down for the Hardhats on the offensive side of things, and now Cooper Bowman steps into the right-handed batter's box.
That's the second of 4 strikeouts here for Workus that has been by virtue of looking. So a lot of movement on his pitches and a good breaking ball has allowed for that. But now with 2 outs, Cooper Bowman still looking to get something going and to get at least a little momentum gained here in this inning.
Cooper Bowman looks at ball 1 high and inside. 1-0 the count. He's 0 for 3, F7, 6-3. And then E2, he reached on. Could he safely get on the base path? Drake Messenger is on deck. 2 for 2 with a bunt single and then a 2-run RBI single. Also with a walk. Here comes the 1-1. That just missed the zone. 2 balls and a strike to count here to Bowman. Bowman looking for his first hit of the game. Already has a run plated. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and chopped to third. Stops made on the play. No, it's not. It goes off the glove of Tom Venner. Looked like he was going to get the easy scoop there, but that is registered as an E5. So Bowman's still looking for that first hit. Back-to-back at-bats. He reaches on an error. Man on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here comes Drake Messenger.
Cooper Bowman, who hits the ball so hard, that's why he reaches on these errors. Back-to-back times he's done in this game, 6 times he's done it on the season, and it's because he hits those hard ground balls, makes good contact with the ball, and he's ultimately going to see those turn into hits instead of reaching on errors, but you still like to see him get on base.
Drake Messenger looks at ball 1 low and away, and it's a shame in a scenario like that with how well Cooper hits the ball that an error is not credited as a hit of some sort.
as well as he hits it, you like to see him get rewarded with some kind of statistical accomplishment there. Messenger now looks at strike one inside, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly it. That's why I had to give him a little shout-out with telling him he hits the ball hard, because he has reached base 2 out of the 4 times he's been up, so he's done what he needs to do. It just won't translate into the stat line there at the end of the game.
2 balls and a strike now the count to Drake Messenger. And the cliche in sports, too, is that there are certain players that do things that don't show up on the score sheet. Sadly enough, I mean, unless you're in the advanced sabermetrics of the sport, that really won't show up on the score sheet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not many people are going to see that 6 times reached on air and really think anything of it, but, the Coach Messer, his coaching staff, they understand how valuable that is, and they'll be the ones to kind of crunch those numbers.
Messenger looked at ball 3 high and outside. A runner goes, but doesn't matter. The pitch was low for ball 4. So Messenger draws a walk with 2 outs here. Cooper Bowman will advance to scoring position at second base, and that's going to once again bring up the heavy bat of Zach Solano, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and back-to-back 6-4 fielder's choice plays. However, both of those times, he's been safe on the base path, and the last time he came around to score one of those 6 runs, that was back in the bottom half of the 4th. First pitch to Solano is low for ball 1. 1-0 his starting count.
Workus just threw his 103rd pitch, and it's funny to see that they're letting him go this long. I don't know if they have another pitcher that can come in against this post-22 club, but it looks like they might stick with him for the long haul, and that's going to be tough on his arm. You're going to see him start to get tired if he's not already just gassed, because even major league pitchers that throw 100 pitches, their arms are very tired.
2-0 to Solano, swung on and hit to short. The throw to first is not air. Stretching off of first was Trey Schmidt. Everybody's safe. It's another error. This time it's an E6, and the bases are loaded for the reigning an E3 for the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers.
Yeah, this is a tough situation now. 2 errors in this inning. You start to see Watertown fall apart. They put up a very good game up to this point, but now 4 errors, 2 of them coming in this inning, and of course 1 in the last inning. So it's gonna be tough to see if these guys can stay together and make it out of this, because Matt Vickers, a base hit, could really extend this lead for the Hardhats.
First pitch to Vickers is low and inside, and the backstop was made by DeVille behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes the count here to Matt Vickers, who has the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and a glorious opportunity for the Hardhats to really stick it to Watertown. They already have a 7-5 lead. 1-0. Inside catches the corner, and that'll even things for Vickers at a ball and a strike. Right now, there are no runs on no hits. 2 errors assessed to Watertown in this inning. Bases are loaded. Here comes the 1-1 to Vickers. That misses, and the ball skips away from DeVille. Everybody's going to advance, and a run will score out of it. So the Hardhats now played a run in this inning. They have an 8-5 lead. Vickers has a 2-1 count now, with 2 men in scoring position on second and third.
All right, and we're going to touch back on that whole stat line thing with Cooper Bowman. He's now reached base twice and scored twice. So even though he's going 0 for up to this point in the game, he's still contributing in every way you can think of for this offense.
2-1, catches the outside corner for strike 2, and Vickers knew that was a strike shortly after. He slapped the barrel of his bat, said, should have swung the dang thing. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count now with 2 outs. Next pitch is swung on and chopped to first, but it just goes foul. That took a crazy skip to go foul, but it just did prior to the bag. So Vickers is alive. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, once again, I say this a lot of times when Vickers comes to the plate. When he's at his best in the batter's box is when he can turn on that pitch. And you saw it right there. He pulled it down that first base side. If he can get it up like he did with his double in his previous at-bat in the bottom of the 4th when he took it over the head there of Schmidt and into right field, that's what he's looking for to replicate and try to do once again.
2-2 is popped foul. That goes out of play towards the opposite side of the field. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Yeah, I got caught up. I was about to say 3 balls. I was thinking third base, but 2 balls, 2 strikes still the count.
Just too many threes thrown in and out and coming back around.
Should Vickers safely get on the base path, Eric Petrie is on deck. Next pitch rides high for ball 3, so now I can say it's a 3-2 count to Vickers.
A little foreshadowing is what we like to call it.
Exactly, yeah.
Eric Petrie had that 3-run blast the last time he was up. He's 2 for 3 in this game. Payoff pitch to Vickers. Swung on and hit foul. Good protection of the plate by Vickers. Count will hold full with payoff pitch number 2 coming up.
I'm surprised Workus' arm is still attached. He's at 113 pitches right now. This kid, he's having a good time. He's done very well against his hard hat lineup that really is explosive. So he's done his job.
Next payoff pitch is swung on and hit to right field. That's a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes the second. It's a 2-run, 2-out RBI single for Matt Vickers, and the Hardhats now have a 10-5 lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Matt Vickers might catch his, he's trying to catch his extra base hits with his singles, so he got that big 2 RBI single right there. It extends the lead, and now we're going to see Workus after 114 pitches finally going to come off the mound for Watertown.
Folks, we're going to take a quick recess to see what kind of defensive substitutions we do have, what kind of pitching changes we do have in just a few moments. What we do know right now is that Eric Petrie comes up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Hardhats now with a 10-5 lead. He has a man on first and Matt Vickers on the base path. We'll be right back after a quick recess here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Post22Live.com.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at InVision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. InVision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who'll help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from
Individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
Well, Tyler Fairchild now moves from second to face Eric Petrie and deals ball 1 in the dirt to him. 1-0 the count to Petrie, who's 2 for 3 with a single and a 3-run blast to left. Next pitch is swung on and hit hard in the air at right. Ball has some drop to it, and it is dropped. It is a fair ball, and it goes all the way into foul territory. Vickers is going to score all the way from first. It is a 2-out RBI double for Eric Petrie. Hardhats now have an 11-5 lead.
Well, now Petrie only needs that triple. He's closing in on the cycle. We always talk about it. We've seen it get close with Solano. We've seen it get close with Vickers. We have yet to see it in a game, and now Petrie just that big triple away from completing that cycle.
So here comes Alex Weaver, my apologies, to come into bat. And his first pitch from Fairchild is a strike, 0-1 the count. Up to this point, Alex Weaver's 0 for 3 with a strikeout looking, and that came with the bases loaded back in the bottom of the 3rd. He is Eric Petrie on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch catches the outside, strike 2. 0-2 the count. And if you look at the scoreboard here, 10 of the Hardhats' 11 runs have come in this inning and in the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 4th. We're currently in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2. Caught him looking, strike 3 on a low pitch in the zone, and that's going to do it. So the Hardhats strand 1 in scoring position in Eric Petrie. However, they do get 4 more runs in this inning on 2 hits. 2 errors assessed to Watertown defensively, and again, that 1 man left on base. He was in scoring position. 5 full innings have been played. The Hardhats now have an 11-5 lead over Watertown. 2. The top of the 6th we go. Brennan Gabriel, Alex Gower, and Ricky Hanisch due up for Watertown. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Post22Live.com.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make it.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
Will Moore is quickly ahead with no balls and 2 strikes. Looking at the first pitch was Brennan Gabriel. He swung and missed on the second one. Will Moore is now looking for his 4th strikeout in relief. Deals the 0-2 and he gets it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 pitches, he gets his 4th strikeout. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. Brennan Gabriel, the DH, has been retired. Alex Gower, the shortstop, up next.
That's the second 3-pitch strikeout for Will Moore in this game. He did it with the first batter he saw, and then, of course, with Brennan Gabriel here in this last batter.
First pitch to Gower, skips away for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Gower. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI single, a sac fly RBI, and a walk. He was also caught stealing back in the top half of the first inning. Ricky Hanisch is on deck. Here's the 1-0. Ball rides inside. 2 balls, no strikes count. Ricky Hanisch is 1 for 2 with a 2-run RBI double and a strikeout looking. He's up in 1 pitch. Now ball 3 dealt to Gower. Should that next pitch be a ball? It'll be the second walk of the game for Gower. Here comes the 3-0. That is in there for strike 1. 3-1 now the count from Will Moore. The 3-1. That rides high and inside.
Finding some trends here early on, but still very effective and just mowing down these Watertown hitters.
Breaking ball misses outside for ball 1 to Ricky Hanisch. He doubled the last time he was up. That's the 2-run RBI double I've mentioned multiple times already. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit in the air to right center field. Weaver's tracking it from right, and he makes the catch. 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. Still that man on first and Alex Gower, and that is going to bring up Micah Kaufman, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk.
This is so cool to see. I'm going to go completely off topic. I'm not going to go, sorry for this rant, but it's so cool to see. Even though it's after 9 o'clock and it's dark out, there's still a good fan base here out supporting post-22 baseball, and it's really nice to see. And all the listeners at home, if you can make it out to the game, do so. It's beautiful weather. It's getting to be summertime. These boys are playing their heart out and doing a nice job there. They're winning. This is just really cool to see. You had to stop and take a second right there.
Ball 1 is dealt to Micah Kaufman, who still has a man on first. Now, next pitch. Did he go? He did not go. That's low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. I do have to echo that sentiment, too. It was absolutely gorgeous today. It registered 83 degrees today. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's the hottest it's been so far since the summer really started. 2-0, swung on and missed from Will Moore to Micah Kaufman. 2 balls and a strike now the count. Again, Kaufman 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Should he safely get on the base path, Trey Schmidt is on deck. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts under his belt. 2-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Will Moore is in the zone, 1 pitch away from strikeout number 5 in relief and the conclusion of this top half of the 6th.
And he's already struck out Kaufman once, and Kaufman already has 2 strikeouts on the day going back to Sherbinski, so definitely a very potent strikeout victim.
2-2 rise outside, ball 3. So now Will Moore back in a full count scenario here. Last time he had one of those, he walked in a run. That is not such a scenario this time. Payoff pitch, swung on and ripped into right field by the outstretched glove of Matt Vickers. That's a base hit. All the way to third goes Gower.
And on first with a 2-out single is Micah Kaufman. So that is his first hit of the ball game. And now, with men on the corners and 2 outs, that brings up Trey Schmidt.
Yeah, Trey Schmidt, another one who has 2 strikeouts on him in this ballgame, and back-to-back at-bats in the top of the third and then the top of the fifth, one by swinging and one by looking. The left-handed Schmidt going against the left-handed Moore. The only positive for Schmidt is he can see the ball a little longer, but Will Moore has been just placing the ball and controlling the ball very well. First pitch is ball 1 from Moore to Schmidt. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Schmidt again 0 for 3 with those 2 strikeouts. Struck out in the top of the third, top of the fifth. Next pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Should he safely get on the base path, Ben DeVille, the catcher, is on deck. And DeVille is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a run scored. Next pitch swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes now the count here to Schmidt. Again, Moore in pursuit of K number 5 in relief. He would surpass Sherbinski. 4 in his start. Next pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3 on a breaking ball, and that will do it. K number 5 for Will Moore in relief, and the Hardhats get out of the top of the 6th inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position on third. And at the end of 5.5 innings, the Hardhats have maintained their 11-5 lead over Watertown post 17. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Hardhats. Due up, Sam Haig, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer, 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on Post22Live.com.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Bottom half of the 6th inning now comes to us here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. The Hardhats have an 11-5 lead. Scored 10 runs in the last 2 innings. And now Sam Haig leads things off. And the first pitch that he looks at from Tyler Fairchild is low for ball 1. Sam Haig in this game, 1 for 3 with a double, grounded into a fielder's choice, and then he struck out looking last time he was up. 1-0. That's low, skips away from Fairchild, and then DeVille is catcher. 2 balls, no strikes account. Sam Haig, Riley McSherry, Justin Kramer due up here in the bottom half of the 6th. If the Hardhats plate 4 runs, the game ends. And this is only a 7-inning game, so it only end by 1 frame, but nonetheless, the game would be over. 2-0, breaking ball doesn't break down from Fairchild. So Sam Haig now looks at a 3-0 count. Looking for his second hit of the game. Here comes the 3-0 from Fairchild. That is low and away, ball 4.
It's a 4th walk for Sam Haig on the season. A lot of speed there at first, so with this big lead, I don't see him stealing the base, trying to get in motion, but weirder things have happened. You could want to see the Hardhats end this early just as much as we would like to see that here in the booth.
First pitch to McSherry was ball 1. His 1-0 misses low. 2 balls, no strikes to count here to McSherry. McSherry today playing at second base is also a phenomenal pitcher for this Hardhats club. He and Cody Carlson have been jockeying for the strikeout lead.
Currently, McSherry holds it.
Next pitch gets away from DeVille, and Sam Haig's going to take second. So alert base running from Haig. He's now in scoring position, doesn't have to make a move like that. 3 balls, no strikes to count now to McSherry. Was a man in scoring position should he get a ball to hit. Could be
Could be something special for him, possibly knocking in Haig from second. Justin Kramer on deck, 1 for 3. That's strike one there. 3 balls and a strike now the count to the second baseman of the Hardhats. Sam Haig now on second. Nobody out bottom of the 6th. Next pitch catches the outside corner for strike 2. And now McSherry, who was way ahead in the hitter's count at 3-0, now looks at a payoff ball. That draws a walk. So back-to-back walks drawn by the Hardhats. Now they have men on first and second with no one out here in the bottom of the 6th. That brings up Justin Kramer, who again is 1 for 2 with a sac fly RBI, a single, a run scored. But the last time he was up, he struck out looking.
And it makes sense for the sacrifice bunt right here, but with a 6-run lead, you might get to see Kramer just get a swing away against Fairchild.
He did not show bunt on that pitch, but he also looked at strike 1 in the process. So 0-1 is his starting count. On deck is Cooper Bowman, unless a triple play ends this inning. Nobody out, 2 men on. 0-1 to Kramer, missed inside. Thought about swinging for just a brief second. Held up, and that's good for ball 1. So now his count is even at ball and a strike.
I think that's the first time we heard that. Usually you say, if a double play doesn't end it, but this is the first time we heard if a triple play doesn't end it, just bringing in some new material to the brow.
I like to jazz it up. Keep the broadcast, keep the listeners guessing here.
I understand. You got to keep them on their toes.
Here comes the 1-2 to Kramer. Caught him looking, strike 3 on the outside corner. So that's back-to-back at-bats where Justin Kramer has a backwards K in the book. 1 down, now a double play could end the inning. That's going to bring up Cooper Bowman, still with men on first and second, but now 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and we were talking about Cooper Bowman a lot there in the last inning, doing a lot of things right. Just hasn't been rewarded yet with that hit, and now I'm sure he's happy that he gets another at-bat to try and get that hit, get on the board with that big base hit.
1-0 the count here to Bowman. He looked at ball 1 high and inside. 0 for 4. Last 2 at-bats, though, reached on an error. Both times came around to score. Next pitch is in there for strike. Now then the inning. Drake Messenger is on deck. Messenger is 2 for 2 with a bunt single, a 2-run RBI single, 2 walks, and a run scored. Here comes a 1-1. Breaking ball doesn't break down. 2 balls and a strike now to Bowman.
And Bowman's such a good hitter. If Fairchild keeps hanging that breaking ball, he's gonna be run out of this game fast. If that was just a few inches lower, Bowman could have put him over the wall. So you got to be careful. But luckily he missed high, and Bowman didn't have to make it pay in that one.
And he missed high again for ball 3. So 3-1 is the count. You and I both know that Bowman can absolutely drill this ball. He hit a grand slam last week, just prior to the 320 game. Next pitch catches the zone. That's going to push the count full here. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Hardhats trying to end this game early. They need 4 runs to do it. 11-5 is their lead here with 1 out, 2 men on first and second here in the bottom of the 6th for Cooper Bowman. Here comes the payoff. Swung on and hit foul. Bowman, great protection of home plate, stays alive, and we'll see a second payoff.
Yeah, real nice job there by Bowman, and already with 2 RBIs, his Messenger, and he's on the on-deck circle, so Bowman thinking right now, if he can just get on base any way possible.
With the changeup there. 2 down now for the Hardhats. Still 2 men on the base pad, but that's going to bring up Drake Messenger.
And that's back-to-back strikeouts, now 3 overall for Fairchild. And coming, doing a nice job in relief for this Watertown team, but Messenger still with the base hit here, could score Haig from second base.
First pitch to Messenger, foul tipped. A bunt single in a position for the Hardhats. Post 17. They still maintain 7th here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post 22. Lead under their belt. He will be back. Was low for ball 1. Everything's even at a ball and a strike now.
Speaking of that NBA Finals game,
came around to score. Next pitch skips on him low and inside. 1-2 high and outside. 2-1 now the count. Hardhats are 2 outs away, from what would be another win at home. 8-1 their home record. Next pitch. Rides high, 3 balls and a strike. Tyler Fairchild in the inside for play ball in effect to end the game. Cole Workus now into the batter's box.
That's now walk number 4 there for Will Moore. job, 5 strikes, earned run. So he's done a nice job on the mound for this Hardhat club, playing in right field. Here comes the 0-1. Next pitch is swung on and hit in the air. First base side in foul territory. Vickers tracking underneath it, and he makes the catch. What a heck of a catch from Matt Vickers. That ball took some backspin. It almost bent him over backwards, but great extension. 2 outs now for the Hardhats. 1 out away from putting this one in the books.
Yeah, these foul balls, they have so much spin on them that they carry in and out, back and forth. A nice play there by Vickers. Very, very nice. Those are hard to judge, especially those high foul balls, but he made a nice job and made a play over there in foul territory to get the big second out for this Hardhat club. Now only 1 out away from win number 15. First pitch to Venner is good for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. 0-2. Quickly, Will Moore is ahead. He's 1 pitch away from putting an exclamation point on this game and giving the Hardhats a 9th win in 10 games at home. 0-2. Breaking ball swung on and hit in the air to right, and that is going to drop in front of Alex Weaver for a base hit. So now 2 men are on the base path here for Watertown Post 17 on first and second. Tom Venner gets his first. That's the second on that hit. Has been straight. First pitch to Gabriel is ball 1. 1-0 his count. Brennan Gabriel reads across, 5-3 sacrifice bunt, 6-3 ground out, RBI walk and a run scored, and then strike it for Will Moore. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. So ball and a strike the count here to Brennan Gabriel. Will Moore trying to end this game. Hardhats have an 11-5 lead. Checks both runners. Here's a 1-1. Breaking ball breaks a little too far inside. 2 balls and a strike now the count here to Brennan Gabriel. Should Gabriel safely get on the base path, Alex Gower, the shortstop, is on deck. 1 for 1 with an RBI sac flying, 2 walks. Moore looks at both runners. Here's a 2-1. Rides up high, 3 balls and a strike now the count. And Moore, who's now thrown 74 pitches. He threw more pitches than Sherbinski in this game. So Will Moore is doing a nice job. We'll get the decision in this game with the winning pitcher.
Here comes the 3-1. That's low and away for ball 4. So it's a 5-pitch walk for Brennan Gabriel, and that will load the bases up for Alex Gower. We again walked the last time he was up. 1 for 1. RBI single. Sacrifice fly and 2 walks. So Gower comes in with the bases juiced. His team is down 6. First pitch almost got away from Hay. Great stop behind home. 1-0 starting count here to Gower.
Yeah, that ball right over the head of Gower, almost behind him. A heck of a snag there by Sam Haig behind the plate.
1 ball, no strikes to count to Gower with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Next pitch, that's in there for strike 1. Caught the zone high, ball and a strike to count. Alex Gower's Watertown team trails 11-5. With a blast here, he can cut that by 4 runs. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit in the air to left center field. Zach Solano tracking underneath it, makes the catch, and that is going to end the ball game. The Hardhats, 9 wins in 10 games on Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium's turf. They take the win and improve to 15-3 in 18 games. Final score is 11-5 after 6.5 innings.
Yeah, a very good game here from the Hardhats. Only allowed 1 error, only committed 1 error and also had 10 hits. I talk about it a whole lot in all of our pre-games, our post-games. If they can get to 10 hits, there's not a club that'll be able to beat this Hardhat team because they're seeing the ball well, plated of the 11 runs. This was a very good game, especially coming off that sloppy post-320 game. To come back and get a tight win like this, that's something that Coach Messer's going to like to see.
Final score, 11-5. The Hardhats take the win. Quick stat recap across the board for Watertown Post 17. It was 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 blemishes defensively in the field. For the Hardhats on the flip side, it was 11 runs on 10 hits, 1 error to speak of on defense. We'll take a quick commercial break, folks, tabulate some stats, gather some thoughts. We'll be right back with your post-game show and recap here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on post22live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. more room than ever, and a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men. Not be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
If you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being abandoned.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Before we go ahead and conclude our broadcast with our normal post-game show and statistical recap of the night, last Friday when we had broadcast from Pete Lean Field, when Post 320 took on Post 22 in the Rapid City rivalry, we started off the broadcast with some very somber news. Ben Conant, who works as our camera operator for almost all of our games with the sports ticket on Post22Live.com, was not in attendance on Friday because he lost his father, Bob Conant, unfortunately all too soon at the age of 43. Medical complications took Bob from us again way too soon, from Ben and his family and from all of us. The longtime voice of the Winter Warriors left us. And we dedicate today's broadcast and the remainder of our broadcasts of this Post-22 Hardhats season in Bob's memory. Ben, such a great kid to work with and such a very troubling time for both he and his family. We hope to see him operating our cameras relatively soon, but we understand completely he is where he needs to be right now, which is with his family at this very, very tough time. So, Ben, if you do happen to be listening tonight, our thoughts and our prayers are with you in this big time of need for you and your family. Just such an unfortunate tragedy striking striking all of us. Bob Conrad, at 43 years old, passes away. The voice of Winter Warriors has this broadcast and the rest to come this year dedicated in his memory. The Hardhats take a 7-inning game in 6.5 innings, which means that they didn't even need the bottom half of the 7th to try and go for the win. They take it 11-5 over Watertown post-17. Statistically across the board, post-17, 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 blemishes defensively. The Hardhats, 11 runs, 10 hits, only 1 error in the field. Thanks once again for sticking around with us here, folks, on Post22Live.com, the official web stream of Post22 Hardhats Baseball. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth, as always, joined by my broadcasting partner in crime, former Post32 American Legion third baseman, Teddy Leipold. And Teddy, once again, great to have you with us. It's the start of a very long weekend of baseball for this Hardhats club. Today was Watertown, tomorrow's Mitchell, Friday is Sheridan, Wyoming, and Sunday is Scottsbluff, Nebraska. A lot of baseball for these gentlemen, but they put up with this test in Watertown, winning 11-5.
Yeah, I got the first test out of the way. You always got to take it one game at a time, no matter what who you're facing, what you're doing. 4 games in 4 nights with 4 different opponents. That's always a tough stretch, and to get game 1, that's a big one. That's always a big one. The first game of any homestand or any 4-game set, no matter who you're playing, to get game 1 is always big. You always want to get that first one out of the way and go in with a head full of steam and some confidence here, against or for the rest of the weekend against these opponents. And they did a nice job. They played very well. You'd like to see the pitching a little better. Maybe not allow so many free bases, cut down on the hits. You don't want to allow those 5 runs, of course. But ultimately, like I said, you get the win, and it was a good win. Only that one error was real tough there on the bunt. So very solid performance defensively and a very good performance at the plate. This seems to be one of the characteristics of this Post-22 team. That big inning and these bats, they're hard to silence. You could do it for a couple innings, and as soon as they get rolling, they're definitely going to be putting some runs across the board.
The Hardhats gave up the first run of the game in the top half of the first. Watertown able to take advantage of an RBI single from the shortstop Alex Gower. After that, bottom half of the second, Hardhats tied at 1, but then we get to the 4th inning, Teddy, which was incredibly interesting to look at. When you look at the box score, in the 4th inning, you'll see in the top half 4 runs, and then in the bottom half, you'll see 6 runs. So let's go to the ugly first. Let's go ahead to that top of the 4th inning. Again, it comes back to what you were saying, free base runners and errors. I look in my score sheet to load the bases for Will Moore to come in relief there in the top half of the 4th. Hit by pitch, E5, base on balls. All 3 of those gentlemen came around to score.
Yeah, that's always tough. We talked about it, and that proved to be, after those 3 batters, that proved to be the end of Colton Strabinsky's night. But he still had a pretty good, solid outing. Only allowed 3 runs, struck out 4, walked 5, and hit 1 batter on 71 pitches. We're kind of spoiled because we got to see these back-to-back complete game there for Strabinsky in his last 2 starts, and he was just really pitching well, and every pitcher is going to come out and have a rough time, and he battled through it and still gave him a decent start, enough to allow his club in a spot to win and a chance to win the ball game. So then Will Moore came in and got that big strikeout right off the bat, but then ultimately walked in a run, and that's when Watertown, a good team, they showed some good promise against a very good Post-22 team, but after they had those bases loaded, they pushed across a few runs and really showed that they were here for the game, and they were not going to go away easy.
And then you look to the bottom half of that 4th inning, and the Hardhats immediately answer back with 6 runs, and pacing the way was Eric Petrie with that 3-run just dynamite bomb, if that doesn't sound redundant, to left. But what an inning it was, and it was that really put the exclamation point on the inning. But what started it was an infield single by Riley McSherry. Justin Kramer follows up with the single. Cooper Bowman reaches out an error. Those 3 guys come around to score.
Yeah, and Drake Messer got 2 RBIs. You thought he was going to be the hero of that inning, pushing across those 2 runs, and ultimately 1 more getting across on that pass ball. But then they played at 3, came back, brought the score, I believe that point, 5-4. And then, of course, you said that exclamation point with Eric Petrie, and Matt Vickers got a double right before Petrie came up, so he had 2 runners in scoring position already, but it didn't matter where they were at on the base path because he put it over the wall for those 3 RBIs and that big home run that's where the game really changed, and Post 22 took over and really dominated from then on out.
You go to the fifth inning, it was still a very close game at 7-5, but then in the bottom half of the fifth, that's really when the wheels fell off the wagon. Hardhats ended up scoring 4 runs on only 2 hits with 2 errors charged to Watertown in the bottom of the fifth, and like you said, Teddy, they did not look back. 11-5 the final score after 6.5 innings of regulation. If you were keeping score with us or if you were watching the game, it should be absolutely no surprise as to who Teddy's MVP for the game is. But we have to go with formalities, being that the case is he presents the MVP. So I'm going to ask the obvious question. You give us the obvious answer. Who's the MVP?
Yeah, this one doesn't surprise people. I like pitchers and I like home runs. And, of course, Eric Petrie came in. He went 3 for 4. He started off with a strikeout, and you were wondering, if he's going to struggle in this ball game. And he absolutely answered. Got a single. Got the double, got the home run, yet to see the cycle, so he didn't get the triple, but he went 3 for 4. Of course, got that home run and 4 runs batted in with 1 run scored. Eric Petrie had himself a day at the plate, and it was absolutely amazing to watch. And he led this team offensively, especially with Zach Solano, who's normally the leader offensively. Didn't have much success in tonight's ball game with the fact that he didn't get a hit. So only the second time that season Solano's been held hitless, and Petrie really stepped up and answered the bell to lead this team offensively.
We still have to add that to our baseball bucket list. We've seen a no-hitter. We have yet to see a perfect game. We also have yet to see a cycle. So we're slowly crossing things off the list as we go along now. Teddy and I both in our second season of calling Post 22 Hardhats baseball on both ESPN Radio Rapid City and for the first time here on Post22Live.com. Stat of the day was a really tough one here. But I have a couple of thoughts to throw out, I guess. We won't necessarily go with the stat of the day. We'll just go with a couple of thoughts of the game, if you will. First off, in the 4th and 5th innings for the Hardhats, they scored 10 of their 11 runs on 7 hits with 3 errors, and they really took advantage of a lot of gaffes that Watertown had in the 4th and 5th innings. 10 of their 11 runs coming in just 2 frames alone. Teddy, you talk about how the team needs the big inning to push themselves ahead. This time they needed 2. They pushed themselves ahead and won, sealed the deal in the next.
Yeah, this was definitely a good stretch for them in that 4th and 5th, and one of the stats on there that sticks out most to me is only 1 runner left on base between those 2 innings, and that just shows how efficient and effective this offense was to put across those 10 runs.
Another thing to think of, and this is something for the Hardhats to work on, they were struck out 7 times tonight. 5 of those came by backwards Ks in the scorebook. You have to give a lot of credit to Dylan Workus, the starting pitcher for Watertown Post 17. He threw 114 pitches and really went the distance for this club. But again, 7 strikeouts, 5 of them backwards Ks. Got to work on some sight issues there at the plate.
Yeah, and you got to understand with 2 strikes, even if the umpire, you get 1 or 2 backwards Ks, then as an offense you have to come back and you have to adjust a hit. As a hitter in the box, you have to adjust to that umpire's strike zone and know that he's calling those borderline pitches, and you got to swing and try and at least make contact, foul him off. You don't want to go down with that backwards K. A strikeout's a strikeout, but it feels a little better when you go down swinging.
Another couple of thoughts to leave you with here, too. One I'll present, the other one we'll try and make sense of. This next one, 8 of the team's 11 runs came from numbers 1 through 5 in the batting order for the Hardhats. It may have been 8 and 9 and Riley McSherry or Justin Kramer sparking that big 6-run bottom of the 4th inning, but 1 through 5 really delivered, scored 8 out of the 10 in those 2 innings and 8 out of the 11 overall in the game.
Yeah, and this is, we talk about the meat of the order all the time with, Solano, Vickers, Petrie, Paris when he's in there, and this top of the order is just so deadly. And Coach Messer touched on it when I did the interview with him at Post 320, as the bottom of the lineup is starting to hit and starting to really produce. And you see that Riley McSherry, Justin Kramer, both these innings led off. Sam Haig, he led off with a double in the bottom of the 2nd. All 3 of those guys came around, scored at least 1 run, and that's 7, 8, 9 accounted for the other 3 runs. So the bottom of the lineup is definitely doing it. And then, of course, when with the bottom of the lineup getting on base and having success, that allows those big hitters and those big bats, that allows them to be able to push them across, get those RBIs, get the big stat numbers, because they are those big hitters that can put it over the wall, put it in the outfield, and really do the most damage.
The last thought I'll present you with, and let's try and make some sense of this here, because you can interpret this a number of ways, so I'm going to leave the judgment up to you. I told you early in the broadcast that I was going to track runners left on base for both clubs. Well,
Watertown had 13 runners left on base, 7 of which were in scoring position. The Hardhats also had 7 runners left in scoring position, 8 total on the game. You see a stat line like that, how do you process it?
Well, you know, the fact is the reason the Hardhats have less runners left on base, they pushed more of them across. And that goes back to what I was talking about in that 4th and 5th inning. When those 10 runs were played, only 1 runner was left, and he wasn't in scoring position. He actually was in scoring position. But it just goes to show you that Watertown, when they had the runners in scoring position, the post-22 pitching really stepped up and set them down. They got those easy fly balls, they got the ground balls, and they wouldn't let them come across. And also you got to thank Sam Hay, because he's definitely bailing out these pitchers a lot of the game with those balls in the dirt, and yeah, he had himself a very good game as well. Tomorrow, Mitchell is the second of 4 straight opponents, different opponents, that the Hardhats will face. Final stat line for you one more time from Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium tonight for Watertown post-17. It was 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 blemishes in the field, 13 runners left on base, 7 in scoring position. The Hardhats, 11 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 runners left on base, 7 of which were in scoring position. Will Moore gets the win. He improves to 2-0. This was his 6th relief appearance of the season. This is his first relief appearance in which he gets the W. Teddy, as always, thank you so much for your contribution to the broadcast booth. We will see you at the exact same time tomorrow night. Post 22 takes on Mitchell. For all of us with the Post 22 Hardhats organization, a very special thanks for Brody filling in for Ben as he mourns the passing of his father, Bob Condon, who once again, all of our broadcasts from here on out are dedicated to his memory, the longtime voice of the Winter Warriors. Until tomorrow night, this is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, saying so long and good night.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah, for those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he?